Tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you, I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you There's no way out of this. This life is all you get. One shot to take. Don't miss, just make. Don't get it twisted. We're on a mission to live life legendary. Yeah, we are legendary. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. There's strength in our blood. You're one of us. You're one of us. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. We are legendary.
Good evening, Mustang fans. The 2023 playoffs are here, and tonight, your Grapevine Mustangs will be hosting the Emerson Mavericks out of Frisco ISD in the bi-district round of the 2023 5A Division II playoffs. That's next on Mustang Friday night.
He's going to be stopped short.
And it's into the end zone for the touchdown. Good evening, Mustang fans, and welcome to the 2023 5A Division II playoffs. Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith from Champion Sports Radio here with you tonight. Sorry, it's audio only tonight. Certain things prevent us from doing video this evening. We won't get into those, but we are here tonight to bring you this playoff matchup between the Grapevine Mustangs and the Emerson Mavericks out of Frisco ISD. Emerson finished third in their district in 3-5A Division II, with Lake Dallas taking the number 2 spot and Argyle winning the district. The Mavericks come in at 8-2 overall. Both losses were in district play. They lost to Argyle by 7 points and lost to Lake Dallas, last year's by-district playoff matchup, by 1 point. And so they come in tonight with an 8-2 record to take on your Grapevine Mustangs. And Tim, this is a team tonight in the Emerson Mavericks. This has the potential to be a bit of a shootout football game tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, if I'm Grapevine, I am happy with the weather report. I'm happy it's rainy and wet and cold, because you nailed it on the head. This offense that comes from the Mavericks is amazing. Their quarterback, that's number 4. His name is Michael Hawkins. He's committed to OU. They have a receiver. His number is number 2. His name is Kylan Evans. He's committed to Texas State. But they throw the ball all over the yard this year. My guy has more than 30 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. So Grapevine tonight, the weather is their best friend in this game. It's certainly playoff weather out there.
Yeah, for those, obviously, everyone coming to the game tonight understands what kind of weather we're in for. The weather tonight is going to, pretty much throughout the game, is going to be consistent. It's going to be in the low 50s. It's going to be a north wind blowing at about 15 miles an hour, which here at Mustang Panther Stadium blows across the field diagonally from one corner of the end zone to the other corner to the far corner of the end zone, completely across the field. So if you're familiar with Mustang Panther Stadium, it blows from the M in the Mustangs end zone to the P in the Panthers end zone in the south end, where Heritage likes to score their touchdowns. So it's going to be a windy night pretty consistently all night. It's going to be off and on rain, about a 40% chance of rain throughout the ball game. When it does fall, it's going to be light to moderate. It's not going to be a heavy downpour, but it's going to be somewhat consistent throughout the night, which you would think would lead to an advantage for the Mustangs in their ground-based attack.
Absolutely, you would think that, and I think that. We know that Emerson coming in, their defense, they've given up a lot of points. They're not a very stout defense. I was told by one of their players this week from Grapevine that they expect a very aggressive defense front 7. And so they're going to use that against them a little bit. We're not going to go into too many details because I didn't get too many, but we know that they're going to use that aggressiveness against them. Their defense is stout against the run. So if Emerson does have to lean on that run game, that certainly plays the Grapevine's favor. If somehow the rain does dissipate or they're able to find a way to continue to throw the ball in the rain and the wind and the wet and all those sorts of things, it could be a long night for Grapevine. Right now I think it's a toss-up. I tell you what, Emerson was down here tackling each other in pregame. I've never seen that before, so maybe they have a little something different going on over here.
Well, let's go ahead here on the AC Pros pregame show, and let's get the thoughts of Grapevine head coach Bob DeBest as we try to set up this matchup tonight here in By District between Grapevine and Emerson.
Ladies and gentlemen, good Jacob Dedamore here from Champion Sports Radio on the AC Pros pregame show, and I'm joined right now by Grapevine head coach Bob DeBest. Coach, I know it's a weird week for school schedule-wise with the team, which is not ideal leading into a playoff game. So how have you been handling this between the staff, which you guys have had a lot of responsibilities this week, from the district, as well as dealing with it with the players and kind of having to change up your schedule?
Well, you know, it was a Thursday night game last week, of course, against Trimble Tech, but we didn't really find out officially who we were going to play until late Friday night.
Right.
And so Saturday and Sunday became a normal weekend as far as preparation for the coaches are concerned. But we did have to get out of routine early in the week. The kids didn't have school Monday and Tuesday. We had some academic responsibilities through the district and through the high school that we had to work around. The good news was we didn't lose anything as far as time was concerned. Any time that we would have spent in our normal routine on Monday and Tuesday, we made up for in the afternoon, for example, on Tuesday. And so it's overall it's been fine. I mean, overall we've gotten in what we needed to get in. It's just been a little bit different as far as you get this late into the season, you're used to a routine, you had to get out of it.
And, you know, now you're in the playoffs. This is the goal, obviously, at the beginning of the season every year. Coming in as the number 2 seed, you're going to be taking on Frisco Emerson, the Mavericks coming out, who, it's interesting, they're a very new program. This is only their second year as a football program,
That's right.
but they have come out of the gate hot. And they have some really good athletes on that team. They have an OU commit at quarterback. They have a Texas State commit at wide receiver. And they even have their own little version of Parker Polk at running back. So
you could almost say they got two.
You can. What have you seen from them when you've looked at them this week?
Well, what you brought up first, we saw them on video last year because we didn't know if they were going to be our first round playoff opponent. Like Dallas ended up being totally impressed by the fact that they were playing with all underclassmen. So when you say you're playing a team that has everybody back from last year's team, they do, because they didn't have any seniors. And then, like you said, some high-profile transfers. Mainly the quarterback, who's extremely talented and really just a heck of a gifted player. Gets the ball out as quick as anybody that I've seen in a while, to be honest with you. Not so much, not just talking about who we played this year, but just watching kids on video. So very talented, surrounded by a lot of really good athletes. Very athletic football team. And like you said, came out of the gates hot, so they're used to winning. I think they won 15 games or so over the last 2 years, which is pretty dang good for a startup program.
Now, offensively, they're probably going to be the most varied and probably most talented offense since the Heritage game.
Since the Heritage game.
So, what kind of challenges are you looking at with your defense this week?
Well, what you can't allow them to do is get you in space without help. They've got some really good athletes, some really quick athletes. So we've got to do really what we've done a pretty good job of all year long, and that is play great team leverage defense where everybody does their 1/11th and forces things to where they're supposed to be forced, and do a good job of running to the football because they, like you said, they got some explosive people.
On the other side of the ball, your offense, would it be safe to say that your offense is maybe looking as good and peaking at the right time as it has all season?
Yeah. People could argue, including myself, that it took a little longer than we wanted.
True. A little longer than you wanted.
But to their credit, about the last 2.5 games, about the last half of the Wyatt game, Arlington Heights and Trimble Tech, they've looked like the real deal. They've been clean, hadn't beaten themselves. Offensive line has come together, played well together. Our two running backs have run really, really tough. And maybe as much as anything, Hack has just done what we've asked him to do, and has done a really, really nice job of being decisive, both in the run game and the pass game. So it's going to be important that we grind it out Thursday night. It's going to be important that we come out of the game winning the time of possession. But the only time the time of possession really matters is if you're scoring points. And so we got our work cut out for us. It's a really tough first round challenge.
Very much. I mean, that's a very tough district. We didn't get to see much against Argyle this year because of the weather issues. But Argyle is the team that, for those that don't know, Argyle is the team that won that district with an undefeated district record. Lake Dallas, the team you guys played last year, finished second in the district this year. So that just speaks to how good that district actually is. The other thing coming into this week is obviously you did all the senior stuff last week in the Trimble Tech game. You get this one final home game here this year. Regardless of what happens, this will be it. But it's also win or go home now.
Yep.
Have you talked to the guy? Because obviously this is a very, as far as most of the players on the field, this is it's still a very new team because it was so senior heavy last year.
Yeah.
Have you talked to them about that? Hey guys, if you have to understand, this is it now. It's
not really, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm giving them credit that they understand what the stakes are, and with a team like we have, I don't think it's in our best interest to go in thinking that way. I think it's in our best interest to go in and focus on this one, just like we have all year long, 1-0 mentality, next play mentality. And then let's see what the result is and see if we have another one to play next week. There are no guarantees. So I'd rather see them have fun with it. I'd rather see them hang loose and enjoy each other and count their blessings that we got another chance to play this week and see what happens.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking the time with us, and
Absolutely.
Good luck tonight. We're looking forward to a great matchup.
It'll be fun.
That's Grapevine head coach Bob DeBest here on the AC Pros pregame show. We'll be back with more of Mustang Friday Night presented by Tradio.
Good job. Welcome back to the AC Pros pregame show here at Mustang Panther Stadium. Tim Smith and myself, Jacob Dedamore, along from Champion Sports Radio here on this Tradio broadcast of the bi-district game between the Emerson Mavericks out of District 3-5A against the Grapevine Mustangs out of District 4-5A. The Mustangs this year finished 6-3 with only one loss in district, in second place behind one game back of the Heritage Panthers. The Emerson Mavericks finished at 8-2, both losses coming in district. They finished in third place in District 3-5A Division II. And at this time, it is time for a playoff edition of Tim's Takes, brought to you by our friends at Lee Lewis Construction.
Thank you, Jacob, and welcome back into Mustang Friday night, special Thursday night edition, special playoff edition. This week I wanted to focus on two guys who simply balled out last week. I got to speak with a senior safety and a junior offensive lineman. First up, I met with the senior, number one in your programs and number one in your hearts, and that's Bryson Davis. Bryson is a senior safety who was playing with Colleyville last year but had the chance to transfer back into Grapevine this season, and we're so lucky to have been able to watch him play out his senior season. Now, Bryson has had 2 interceptions this year, but the biggest was a week ago with the pick 6 that really set the tone for senior night. I asked him about the play, and he said that they had gone over the quarterback rollout play in film and on the scout team. He saw the play coming, and he jumped it. His goal this year was to get on the team, earn a starting spot, and his other goal was to bond with as many teammates as possible. He seemed to accomplish both of those. Bryson has a scholarship offer from Bethel University in Kansas, but he's still deciding if he wants to play football or simply focus on a business degree. His favorite hobby is video games, and he tends to play Fortnite more than the rest. He wanted to give a shout out to his cousin Leon, Aunt Ashley, and Uncle Chat, who are all watching from Louisiana. He also told me he was excited for the challenge tonight with a team who likes to throw the ball with a big-time wide receiver, both committed to D1 schools like we talked about earlier. Next up, I was excited to meet the people mover, Mr. Pancake with Extra Syrup, number 70, offensive lineman, number 70, I told you that, Bergen Weir. Last week, Bergen had several pancake blocks, and I asked him, what goes into that? He said just finishing the play, playing through to the whistle. I asked him what he expected from the defense he will face tonight. He said Emerson has an aggressive front 7. He felt like a lot of motion and some play action is really going to help them tonight, but really to lean on the power game, and that's about as much as he would tell me. I asked Bergen about the O-line leadership and as a junior, who he leans on. He said it's really everyone, but Ryan Knight has stood out to be a great leader. And then he said, and I quote, Hunter Cottle is a wonderful leader. He said he learned as a junior this year to finish every play and go all gas, no brakes. When I asked him about his favorite hobby, he said he usually is working or working out, but he also mentioned Fortnite, and that certainly seems to be a common trend among these Mustang players this season. He plans to study business in college, not sure about playing football, but business is a focus for sure. Bergen wanted me to give a shout out to his brother Preston Weir, who is attending Texas Tech studying business and was on Mustang team number 100. As always, I enjoyed my time with these two upstanding gentlemen, and what I heard from both players throughout this year was Coach tells us to do our 1/11th. We used to say the same thing in arena football, do your 1/8. I absolutely love that message from Coach DeBest and his staff. It's playoff time. You can feel the energy from up here. A little rain isn't going to stop this show, and Jacob, should be a great game here tonight.
It really should, Tim, and thank you for this playoff version of Tim's Takes presented by Lee Lewis Construction here on the AC Pros pregame show. This is going to be a phenomenal matchup tonight. As we said earlier before the interview with Coach DeBest, this is going to be the best. This is probably going to be the best offense that Grapevine has seen outside of maybe Colleyville Heritage. And if I had to say it just based on the numbers and what they do, I would say this is an even more balanced offense than Heritage, because I think Emerson may run the ball better. They have 4 wide receivers that are all involved almost equally in the passing attack. They have 2 running backs like Grapevine that are about equally involved in the run game. Their quarterback, Michael Hawkins, gets involved in the running attack. This is a varied offense that will use varied sets. We'll see them in 10 personnel, in 11 with a tight end on occasion. We'll see them in 20 personnel with both backs in there with Hawkins. They're going to vary up the formations, vary up the personnel. This is going to be a massive challenge for this Grapevine defense.
And this is going to test every corner of the Grapevine defense. And not only that, but you can tell right off the bat, this isn't the same type of team that Grapevine has played that are in the Fort Worth school district, right? This team is filled. They look like a college team out there, just like Grapevine does. So this is good on good. This is what you want in the playoffs. But Grapevine's defense will be tested. It's really going to be about that offense. Can they control the clock? Can they control time of possession? And can they get their run game going in this rainy, cold, kind of damp night? I think they can.
Here's the good thing for the Mustangs, and I talked about this with Coach Bob DeBest earlier this week in the coach's interview. This offense for Grapevine, yes, it is a run-based option-style attack, but it is peaking, I think, at the right time for this playoff run. The passing attack, we've seen it over the last couple of games, is looking as good as we've seen it look all season with Harrison Hackbarth. The receivers have been getting more involved, and it's been multiple receivers. It's been Darius Burns. It's been Will Matheny, not just Rondale Carradine. They're getting the tight ends a little bit more involved. They're using play action more. They're doing a lot of different things so that defenses can't just focus on one person. Tonight, I do think, as you said, partially because of the conditions and partially just because of what Emerson does and how explosive they are offensively, this is going to be a game where DeMontrez Dunn, Connor Bell, Rondale Carradine, and even Harrison Hackbarth, they need this ground attack to take control because your best defense is keeping that offense on the sideline.
Yeah, you're going to have to. You're going to have to play that clock game, and field position is going to be paramount tonight. Hayden Rhodes is going to play a big part in this game with his big leg, so expect him to have a big part of this tonight. Special teams. Really, it's going to come down to, in a playoff game like this, how are you in all three phases? I think Grapevine might have the advantage in all three phases. And, folks, you can't see the game, and pretty soon we may not be able to see the game. We have very little air in our booth, and our window is all fogged up, so bear with us.
We're going to go ahead and take a break here on the AC Pros pregame show. When we come back, we're about 11 minutes from kickoff. The teams are going to be coming on the field here in just a few minutes. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups for your Mustangs as well as the Emerson Mavericks. This is the AC Pros pregame show on Mustang Friday night.
Now's the time to get your home ready for the holidays. Let our family at Stacy's help. We make it easy for you. New collections are arriving daily for every room in your home. Our design staff is ready to help you create the perfect room for your holiday entertaining. At Stacy's, our quality name brand selection and prices won't be beat. And right now, you can save even more during our holiday home sale. Save $300, $400, $500 or more during Stacy's store-wide holiday home sale. Remember, if you're shopping at Stacy's, you're shopping with family.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Public notice. Excess Chevy Equinox models from across the region will be sold at one DFW location. Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine's one-time Equinox offload. $7,000 off MSRP or payments under $300 a month. You heard right. Buy for only $299 a month. Excess new 2024 Chevy Equinox direct to the public. $7,000 off or $299 a month. Nationwide shipping. Final notice. Excess Equinox models must be sold at Classic Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Mustang Panther Stadium here on the AC Pros pregame show. Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith from Champion Sports Radio here with you as we're getting ready for this bi-district playoff matchup between the Grapevine Mustangs and the Emerson Mavericks. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineup for those Emerson Mavericks. As when they have the ball on offense, it will be number 4, senior quarterback Michael Hawkins. He is an Oklahoma commit. He is thrown this year for 31 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions, a little over 2,100 yards passing. He's also a run threat with 485 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns on the season. You will see 2 tailbacks in this lineup. The first is the senior, number 5, Izzy Bills. He is a bit of a Parker Polk clone. He's about 5'7", 160 pounds. You'll also see junior number 8, Cameron Lockhart. You'll see them both used and both on the field at different times. At your wide receiver spots, the Texas State commit number 2, senior Kylan Evans, is at one wide out. The other one is junior number 14, Kelton Wafer. He'll be at the other wide. Your 2 slot receivers are number 3, Mateus Machado. He is a senior. And number 15, senior Cameron Newborn. Starting across the offensive line at left tackle is number 60, senior Braden Garza. At left guard is number 55, senior Brian Viana. Your center, number 65, senior Caleb Griffin. At right guard, number 63, senior Maddox Smith. And sophomore, number 51, Austin Pelletier. On defense for the Mavericks, your starting defensive line, number 88. It is Keaton Blanton. He's a senior. Junior, number 44, Alex McLean. Senior, number 35, A.J. Johnson. We'll be talking a lot about him, as disruptive as he is on that D-line. And number 85, senior Colin Crockham. Your two starting cornerbacks are number 18, junior Malik Hawkins, and junior number 9, Christian Lyons. Your two starting safeties, number 10, Kennedy Breedlove, and number 30, that is Tyson Cannon. And your starting linebackers in the middle, number 11, A.J. Lawrence. Number 23, Nate Leal is on the right side linebacker. Your left side outside linebacker is number 22, Christian Williams. And for your Grapevine Mustangs, when they have the ball, starting up front, the studs up front at left tackle, number 64, Ryan Knight, the senior, number 71, junior Daniel Campos, the sophomore, Ethan Rudolph at center, number 51, junior right guard, Bergen Weir, number 70, and sophomore right tackle, number 55, Hunter Caudle. Of course, your starting quarterback is the senior, number 14, Harrison Hackbarth. Connor Bell, number 24, I guess you could call him the 1B of your two running back tandem, the senior. He's at one spot. Your tight end, number 22, senior Brady Wagner, and your two senior wideouts, number 10, Will Matheny, and number 2, Darius Burns. And your two big playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, senior running back, number 4, DeMontrez Dunn, right now with 970 yards rushing and 11 total touchdowns on the season. And then number 21, Rondell Carradine, your slot receiver, and also used at tailback, Rondell on the season. 565 yards of total offense and 7 total touchdowns on the season. He is the big play threat. For the Mustangs on the defensive side of the ball, up at your linebacker spots, you have number 34, sophomore Luke Gormley. He'll split time with number 31, Cooper Towery, at that will linebacker spot. Your middle linebacker, the captain, Leighton Towery, number 19, the senior. And along the defensive front, you have Devin Thomas, the senior defensive tackle, the disruptor, and number 95, Ty Hohenberger, the junior. On the other spots on your defense, you have Major Heck, the hybrid safety linebacker, number 6, at one spot, the senior. Number 9, Brady Boozer, the junior, your strong safety. Tatum Evans, the jack position, the hybrid linebacker, defensive end, the sophomore. He's number 11. You have Ryan Hamilton at one corner. You have Bryson Davis at one safety. Your other corner is senior Darion Burns, number 3. And you will also see mixed in Maddox Stanley as well quite a bit tonight. Those are your starters for both teams. We have captains on the field right now. Rondell Carradine, Bryson Davis, Maddox Stanley, and Ryan Knight are your captains tonight for the Grapevine Mustangs. For the Emerson Mavericks, you have number 2, Kylan Evans, number 65, Caleb Griffin, number 35, A.J. Johnson, and the fourth captain tonight is number 11, A.J. Lawrence. Coin toss is happening on the field right now. Grapevine has one, and they will defer, so the Mustangs will be starting on defense and will receive the second half kickoff. So it will be that high-powered offense of the Emerson Mavericks to get things started here tonight. As Hayden Rhodes will come on to kick things off for Grapevine.
I feel like they did the coin toss really early, Jacob. We still
have
more than 4 minutes.
They got it knocked out before we have the national anthem, and right now we're going to take you down to the field for our national anthem. Emerson Mavericks are now coming onto the field. Yeah, I think the officials want to get that knocked out.
Officials are ready to get this game started.
Mustangs tonight wearing their battle red uniforms, red pants and red jerseys. with white numbers and the white GHS across the front outlined in blue, a white stripe down each pant leg outlined in blue. The Emerson Mavericks tonight in their all-white uniforms, white jerseys and pants. They have their sky blue numbers outlined in black with blue helmets with that Mavericks logo, or that E on the side for Emerson.
A true Thursday night color rush game.
Very much
Jacob.
so. The Mustangs, of course, with their white helmet with the red Mustang logo outlined in blue. It's going to be a fun game tonight here. If you think about it, Tim, this really is kind of football weather.
It is football weather. Driving here, I felt like I was back in Chicago. It was cold, rainy, dark already at 5 o'clock. It's, we're in full-on winter here in Texas. We go from summer to winter in about 2 days. We completely forget about fall. Fall does not exist here. But that's okay. It is football weather, and this weather certainly plays to Grapevine's favor.
Nice job by the Grapevine Mustang Marching Band on our national anthem. And right now, let's go to a quick announcement from our friends at the UIL.
Attention football fanatics, don't miss out on the opportunity to be a part of Texas football history where dreams are realized, legends are born, and where unforgettable moments unfold before your very eyes. Mark your calendars for the UIL State Football Championships December 13th through the 16th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where the best teams from 6-man to 6A leave it all on the field in hopes of being named champion. For the latest updates and ticket information, head over to uiltexas.org/football. Again, that's uiltexas.org/football.
Back here at Mustang Panther Stadium, the kickoff team is coming on to the field to get things started. Hayden Rhodes will kick things off for the Mustangs. Back deep to receive is number 15, Cameron Newborn. And I can't quite make out a number on the other return. Number 5. Okay, kickoff is high, deep. Wynn's going to take this one to the back of the end zone. That was number 5, Izzy Bills, the starting running back, who was back there. And it's a touchback, and the Emerson Mavericks will start at their own 25-yard line. 1st and 10. We'll see a variety tonight of formations and personnel packages from this offense for Emerson.
Well, they will run a variety. Whether or not we'll actually see all the varieties is in question. It is very foggy up here. Imagine getting into your car in the morning in the winter, folks, and you can't quite see out your window. That's what we have going on currently.
Coming out in a 3-wide set with 2 receivers stacked to the near side, a tight end, and a single receiver to the far side. Snap back on 1st down. It is a handoff going over the right side. It's Izzy Bills. He gets to about the 30, maybe the 31-yard line for a gain of 6 from Izzy Bills. Bills on the season, 905 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns, averaging just a hair under 8 yards a carry on the year.
So we talk about that pass game. They can certainly run the ball as well, and they proved that here right off the bat with a nice little run-off tackle for 6 yards.
Because of the run threat of Hawkins, we'll see a lot of zone read action tonight, I think, in this running attack from Emerson. 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line. They're staying in the same formation. 2 receivers stacked to the near side, single receiver to the far side with a tight end on the right side, on the near side of the formation. It's going to be another handoff to Bills. He is going to get a break a tackle at the line of scrimmage and then get taken out of bounds. We'll see if he's short or if they give him the first down. Now, it looks like they're going to mark him maybe a yard short of the first down, just past the 34-yard line.
That's a nice job by Burns to come up and make that tackle just short of the first down. Very aggressive cornerback play that you don't see all the time.
So 3rd and short. Number 8, Cameron Lockhart checks in at tailback. Number 19, Matias Talavera, the junior, is the tight end they use in this personnel package. 3rd and less than a yard for the Mavericks. Snap back, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle. First down, out past the 35 to the 40. As on the wrap-up that time was number 19, Leighton Towery, but Hawkins gets a first down out to the 40. They actually give him forward progress to the 41.
Nifty move by Hawkins in the backfield is what got him that first down, because Devin Thomas had immediate penetration, actually had a handful of his jersey, but just missed him with the little wiggle. Devin knows he needs to break down. He kind of hit himself in the helmet after that play. If he breaks down, he's probably able to make that tackle. Just came in a little too hot.
Lockhart, number 8 this year, has 676 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns. Play action on first down. Hawkins passes over the middle. Pass is caught, and Bryson Davis clocks the receiver who hangs on. That's number 3, Matias Machado. He's one of the slot guys, but we have a flag down right at the start of the play here on the near side, dropped by the head linesman, and it looks like this is coming back.
Looks like one of the offensive linemen thought it was a run play. It was a pass play. We have an ineligible receiver downfield. We finally got to see this offense, this pass game, and sure enough, there's a wide receiver wide open in the middle. He takes a big shot from Davis at the end of it and hangs on, but the penalty is going to push them all the way back.
Machado, number 3, who caught that pass, he leads this Emerson team, even though he's not the big play guy. He leads the team in receptions with 30 on the season for 408 yards and 6 touchdowns. As we were talking about in the pregame, all 4 of their starting wide receivers are threats to catch the ball. They really do spread the ball around in this offense.
And it's a big core. You look out there, there's no small receivers out there. I mean, they're all pretty tall and pretty good-sized kids out there. Young men.
1st and 15 now back at the 36 after the penalty. 2 receivers to the near side. Single receiver to the far side. Little miscommunication in the backfield, but a nice move to get out past the line of scrimmage and get some yardage out of that. That was Izzy Bills, number 5. Looked like he went one direction. Hawkins, the quarterback, turned the other direction, and that could have been a really bad play for Emerson.
Somebody certainly went the wrong way, but you talked about it earlier, Jacob, off air, was the penalties that Emerson has had throughout this season. Right off the bat, we see them with a nice drive, and all of a sudden the penalty gets them all the way back up, but now they're behind the chains.
This quarter brought to you by our friends at Stacy Furniture and Design. 2nd and 12 now at the 39. Snap back, another handoff, coming to the near side, and a missed tackle out past the 40 to the 45 near midfield. That time, rarely do you see Brady Boozer miss a tackle, but he missed one there as Cameron Lockhart juked him to the near side, and he ends up getting that all the way out to midfield, only a yard short of the first down.
Brady Boozer, one of the best tacklers on the team, one of the leading tacklers on the team. He breaks down, but again, a nifty move, and Brady just misses him. And you don't see that very often, 100% right.
11-yard gain for Cameron Lockhart, 3rd and a yard at midfield. They go trips to the far side on 3rd down. Snap back handoff to Lockhart again, and he gets tripped up, stays on his feet, though, and may have gotten the first down. That is a phenomenal individual effort by Cameron Lockhart. It's going to be very close. Looked like he was going to be tackled for a loss and somehow kept his feet despite getting tripped up in the backfield and moved forward to get the first down.
I got to say, that's a very favorable spot. Devin Thomas actually cuts through there. I got to believe his knee touched at least 2 yards earlier than this, but they give him the first down somehow.
So that moves the chains. 1st and 10 in Mustang territory now at the 49-yard line. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter on the opening drive of the ball game. 2 receivers to the far side, single receiver near side. It's Bills in the backfield. Snap back. And it's going to be a keep by Hawkins. He's up the middle. He's got room inside the 40 and dragged down after a first down. Coming in just Cooper Towery to make the tackle. But that time, for the first time in the ball game, Michael Hawkins kept the ball and just accelerated upfield to gain a 13 and a first down.
Yeah, we know Hawkins is extremely athletic. He doesn't depend on the run. He's not a run-first quarterback, but he does have that element in his game. It's one of the reasons he's headed to OU in the spring.
He is a true dual-threat quarterback in the truest sense of the word. 1st and 10 now for the Mavericks at the Grapevine 36. Snap back. It is a handoff to Bills. He goes over the right side, then cuts up the middle, gets hit, and driven back. It's still going to be a solid gain of about 6 yards as he got hit at the 30 and driven backwards. But we're seeing the variety of this offense. It's been pretty much, outside of one play, all ground attack here so far. But it's a hard ground attack to defend because of how Emerson spreads you out and then the run threat of Hawkins.
Yeah, they're really getting – Hawkins has very good vision is what I've noticed right up the top. So he's making people miss. He's got wiggle. And the offensive line from Emerson right now is doing a good job outside of Devin Thomas. He seems to be the only one getting that quick pressure on the inside. So I need to see all 3 defensive linemen who have dominated all season long to get back to that form.
2nd and 4 now at the 30-yard line. Handoff to Bills, and this time he gets stood up at the line of scrimmage. Tatum Evans grabbed him around the shoulders, and he didn't let him go. Gain of no yards on 2nd down. Great job by Tatum Evans.
That's what we want to see. We want to see quick recognition and making the tackles. We want to see an extremely front 7 here, and then the corners are doing a really good job in their run support already, as are the safeties.
Cameron Lockhart, I should say, checks in for Izzy Bills here at running back on 3rd and 4.
Okay, so Emerson sees something they don't like, and they're making a change from the sideline.
Talavera, the tight end, lined up as kind of an H-back on the near side. 2 receivers near side, single receiver to the far side.
Got one-on-one at the top. Is that where they're going to go?
Hand off to Hawkins. He's got room inside the 20, inside the 10, and he is going to score. Just an easy zone read handoff. Good blocking on the outside by the receivers. And the big play threat, Cameron Lockhart, just turns it up the numbers and scores from 30 yards out.
And that's surprising because you even had Stanley come down into the box right before that play happened. They ran right to it and still got the blocks made. Stanley makes the cut and accelerates with speed for the touchdown.
Cameron Lockhart scores the touchdown. Extra point is up, and the kick is good. 6:26 to go here in the first quarter. It is a 6-0 lead or 7-0 lead for the Emerson Mavericks. This is Mustang Friday Night here on Tradio.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Back here at Mustang Panther Stadium as the Emerson Mavericks go 75 yards in 5 minutes and 34 seconds on the opening possession of the game, and they have taken a 7-0 lead here over the Grapevine Mustangs. The kickoff is a high, short pooch kick. It's going to be caught at the 22, dropped, and then fallen on the far side of the field. So the Mustangs will take over at their own 23. That was number 5, Mason Tatum, who muffed that kick. Might have had some return yardage there if he hadn't dropped it, but fell right back on it, so the Mustangs take over.
I don't see that too often. I'll tell you, this game is early on not playing out as we thought, as Emerson with the ball control, Emerson with the time of possession, and only one pass that didn't even count on that drive. So very impressive opening drive.
75 yards all on the ground on that possession. First down, it's a handoff to Demontrez Dunn. He's going up the middle. He's out past the 30, 35, and dragged down out past the 40-yard line. Great opening play for the Mustangs. 15 yards for Demontrez Dunn and moved the chains for the Mustangs.
Now talk about vision. I mean, everybody was there for the Mavericks. They had everything kind of bottled up, but the vision and the wiggle from Dunn is able to get him out, and then the speed to go out and get the first down.
Yeah, you really saw that going back to that Emerson touchdown drive. going into this 15-mile-an-hour wind, they decided to keep it on the ground, and they were very effective with it. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 40. Snap back, handoff to Dunn. Again, no, it's kept this time by Hackbarth. He's going outside past the 40. Going to get about 3, maybe 4 yards before he's dragged down by number 10, Kennedy Breedlove, the starting safety and senior. They're going to give him 3 yards out to the 43.
I like the decision there to keep the ball because they attacked the line of scrimmage just as we were told that they would, and they are very aggressive. And so when you play an aggressive defense, if they forget about you, Harrison Hackbarth, go ahead and take a few yards. I like that.
2nd and 7 now at the 43-yard line. This time, only one back in with Hackbarth. It is DeMontrez Dunn. Carradine comes in motion, handoff to Dunn up the middle. Not much there. Only going to get about a yard before he's brought down by the linebacker, number 23, Nate Leal, the senior.
So not by personnel, but the Mavericks are doing, the defense kind of looks like a 4-4 out there if you look at what they're doing. They have 4 down linemen. Then they take 2 big guys that are really DBs, linebacker hybrid type players, and they put them at the corners. Then they put 2 guys in the middle, and then they have the corners with 1 safety. So they are daring Grapevine right now to throw the ball on them, knowing that Grapevine wants to run.
Carradine and Dunn both in the backfield, stacked in a power I out of the pistol.
Both corners have inside leverage as well.
Snap back on 3rd and 6. They're going to go speed option left. Hackbarth keeps it. He has a first down, still on his feet. He's down to inside Maverick territory, inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line. A gain of 17 yards for Harrison Hackbarth as they went speed option far side. He faked the pitch and just cut up the field.
That's exactly what you do against this defense.
But we do have a flag.
Oh, no.
It's a downfield flag, and it's going to be a downfield holding penalty, so this will bring it back. Looks like it's going to end up being marked at about the Emerson 45, so it's going to end up being a gain of a yard, but they get to redo 3rd down here, so it'll be 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 6.
Darius Burns had a pancake block on that downfield.
Maybe that's who they called.
Well, that's not a hold. He clearly blasted the DB into next week, so it's a shame that comes back, but good play call. I think they can do it again.
3rd and 5 now after the penalty. That penalty marked from the spot of the foul. And now the referees come in and blow it dead. It's a timeout for the Mavericks with 4:02 to go here in the first quarter. Timeout for Emerson. It's 7-0 Emerson over Grapevine. And we'll keep it here as they're in timeout. So, big play taken back. Now you're set up 3rd and 10. A little bit of momentum taken out of you right there. Going to be incumbent upon Grapevine to keep this going because, as we've already seen, this offense for Emerson is a beast to try and stop.
It is, and this is still favorable position for Grapevine. You're still 3rd and medium. This is certainly a makeable opportunity for you guys, for the offense from the Grapevine Mustangs. This defense is very unique in how they're set up. I expect Grapevine at some point to take advantage of some of these things.
I do like what I've seen the last couple of plays by Hackbarth with this speed option play. If they're going to, commit and bail out to cover Rondell Carradine, which you would understand, he needs to be prepared to take the ball with his legs and do it himself.
Well, we talked about that. I think Coach DeBest told you that during the week when you met with him, was that Harrison's going to have to be involved this week.
Power pistol formation with Carradine and Dunn in the backfield. Snap back. It is a pitch, and Emerson is all over it. They read that. They had 2 guys get into the backfield that time, both number 87, Keelan Blanton, and number 23, Nate Leal. And Harrison really had nowhere to go with the ball because there was 2 defenders there ready for it.
Yeah, he couldn't give it to the up man. He couldn't pitch it. He had no choice but to keep it. And unfortunately, Emerson just plays that play very, very well on that occasion.
Loss of 5 on the play, so the Mustang punt unit will come onto the field as Hayden Rhodes will punt it back to the Mavericks. Rolling to his right. Rhodes gets it away with the wind at his back. Fair catch is signaled and made at the 21-yard line, and that is where the Mavericks will take over, already leading 7-0. Well, now it's going to be on this defense to make some plays and get a stop here. That first drive, the Mavericks took it 75 yards all on the ground. and took up almost half the quarter doing it.
Meanwhile, Grapevine comes out. They only hold the ball for a couple of minutes, and now there's still 3 minutes left in this quarter for the Mavericks to have the ball. You're right. This is a big-time drive for the Grapevine defense. They have to find a way to get a stop here.
Mavericks overcame a key penalty on their touchdown drive. The Mustangs not able to do the same. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks at their own 21. 2 receivers stacked to the far side. Single receiver near side. A little bit of a high snap, but a handoff up, going over left tackle. About 3 yards before Ty Hohenberger wraps up number 5, Izzy Bills, at about the 24.
Simply not getting away from Ty. I mean, he puts his big bare arms around you, and you are going down. No time to wiggle that time. They're taking their time, too. What I like about the Mavericks is
they're not running tempo.
No, they do score a lot of points, but they do it very methodically.
2nd and 7 now at the 24-yard line. And now we're going to have a flag. I think we're going to have some movement as the center judge, the umpire right in the middle of the field, came in through the flag, so back it up 5 yards. That'll take it back to the 19 and make it 2nd and 12. You know, I think on a night like this, maybe this is one of those nights where Emerson is looking at it like, you know what, these conditions aren't great for our passing attack, so maybe we'll play a little ball control because we have a very good running game as well.
And it could change when they turn around and they have that wind at their back. Although
very true.
The wind is there, but it doesn't seem as strong as it was a little while ago. But you never know. Maybe they just found that they can run the ball and stick with that.
2nd and 12 now at the 19. Snap back, handoff. Nope, it's kept by Hawkins. Going up the middle, cutting up. He's out past the 25 and then gets taken down at about the 29, a gain of 10 yards to set up 3rd and manageable. That's the problem right now for the Mustangs is they're running the ball and they're getting chunks of yardage out of this running attack.
It's 3, 4, 5 yards in a cloud of dust each and every time, and that just wears on your defense. That wears particularly on that D-line and linebacker core.
If you're in the defensive front for Grapevine, whether they go 6 or 7 up front right now, it really is kind of assignment football. You've got to have somebody assigned to the quarterback and the running back, and guys need to flow quickly to the ball.
And everybody else has to fill their gap.
3rd and 2, snap back. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and going to be close, but I think it's going to be a first down. Ty Hohenberger wrapped up number 8, Cameron Lockhart, but he was able to get 3 yards out to the 32 to move the sticks.
Yeah, he wrapped him up, but Lockhart showed a lot of strength there and really carried Ty for about 1.5 yards to get that first down because Ty had him stopped short. That's just a nice play.
Lockhart a little bit, the slightly bigger of the two backs. He checks in at 5'10", about 180 pounds. Izzy Bills is the more diminutive, 5'6", listed at 170.
Parker Pokish.
Exactly. 1st and 10 at the 32. Hawkins, play action. Now he looks, and now he's just going to take off with it, coming to the near side, out past the 35, and then steps out of bounds, out past the 40 to the 43, 12 yards as he just turned up the blocking on the outside from the receivers, sealed the corner, and Hawkins turned it up for a gain of 11 yards.
Well, he's letting them know is Hawkins. That was an RPO, and what he wanted to do was come back to the wide receiver screen on the outside. Unfortunately, both receivers were blocking somebody, so you can't throw the ball to a receiver that's blocking somebody. So very good presence of mind by Hawkins to tuck the ball and get up around a corner and get the first down.
1st and 10 at the 43 now for the Mavericks. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Snap back. Going to be a handoff coming to the near side. Out past midfield into Grapevine territory. And stepping out of bounds at the 42 is Izzy Bills. Phenomenal blocking right now by these Emerson Mavericks in this running attack, both at the line of scrimmage and on the outside by these wide receivers.
Yeah, number 55, the left guard, Vienna, really had the seal block there. That the tackle goes upfield. The guard actually seals the corner and makes that possible. They are doing everything right up front currently is Wakeland.
Izzy Bills right now with the Emerson run for 15 yards and a first down into Grapevine territory at the 42-yard line. Grapevine needs to make some adjustments on defense and figure out how to get off some blocks and get some tackles. 2 receivers to the far side, single receiver near side. Snap back. It's going to be another handoff and a big play by Devin Thomas. He gets into the backfield and absolutely blasts Izzy Bills for a loss of 4 on the play.
Love to see that. And then he does a little bear crawl, and the white hat comes over and says, hey, don't do that anymore. Don't do that again. But I say let him do it. It's playoffs. That was fun.
This is high school, though, not the pros. They'll flag you for that. Loss of 4 on the play back to the 46. Under 20 seconds to go in the first quarter, and it looks like the Mavericks, we'll see. They're showing no urgency. They may run one final play here. Down to 10 seconds. They're going to line up. 2 receivers near side, single receiver far side. Bill's still in the backfield with Hawkins. Snap back, handoff to Bills, going around the far side. He gets the corner, makes a man miss, still on his feet inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line. Man, these 2 running backs for the Mavericks are very quick. They're making Grapevine defenders miss like we haven't seen all season.
Yeah, it's just juke button after juke button is what's going on out there. The L1, the R1, the stick button, everything's working for the Mavericks, and Grapevine is just grabbing air a lot of times, and that's got to change.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Emerson Mavericks leading the Grapevine Mustangs 7-0 in this by-district round in 4-5A Division II. Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith from Champion Sports Radio, and this is Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back for quarter number 2 here at Mustang Panthers Stadium. Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith from Champion Sports Radio. By district round of the 5A Division II playoffs, the Emerson Mavericks lead the Mustangs by a score of 7-0, and they have 3rd and 3 at the Grapevine 45-yard line. As they come out in a shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the far side, handoff. Nope, it's kept by Hawkins. He's going to get the first down inside the 30, up the sideline, inside the 20, and he'll step out of bounds at the 17-yard line. That's just athletic ability. Hawkins saw the defender closing on his running back, so he just pulled the ball out and took off.
Yeah, interesting. That's what it did look like. I also tend to think maybe it was kind of a fake lead because the running back immediately went up and blocked somebody. So either great presence of mind by both players or an actually really cool design play.
Gain of 18 yards down to the Mustangs 17. Even when the Mustangs have them in negative yardage situations, they're ripping off big chunks. 2 receivers stacked to the far side, single receiver near side with Hawkins hands it off up the middle inside the 10, the 5, and a touchdown. We have a flag down, now a second one. We're going to have a flag on that Emerson offensive line. That was Lockhart, number 8, who scored the touchdown, but this one's coming back.
Well, you had Cooper Towery, Major Hecht, and Brady Boozer, I think. I think it wasn't Major. It was Brady Boozer. There was at least 3 Grapevine Mustangs that had their hands on him and did not make that tackle. But there was a block in the back.
It was actually a hold by number 65, Caleb Griffin, who basically tackled the defender that he was trying to block and just dragged him down to the ground. Griffin is the senior center, number 65, and he was right at the point of attack on that run, too. So move that back. It was actually a couple of yards downfield, so it's going to be an 8-yard penalty back to the 25. 1st and 18 now for the Mavericks.
This is the first time to me, now I didn't get to see the Colleyville game, but the first time since the preseason games that I've seen an offensive line move the Grapevine Mustangs like this.
Hawkins keeps it on the zone read. He's got the far side of the field inside the 15, the 10, the 5, and is he in or did he step out? They're going to call him out at the 2-yard line, it looks like. But again, that zone read action, and I got to give credit to the Emerson wide receivers because they are sealing things off downfield. Grapevine defenders can't even get up to make a tackle attempt, and he just turned the corner and went all the way down to just outside the 1.
Now everything is working up as you draw it up on the whiteboard before you come out to the field right now. It's been very impressive to see what these Mavericks have done.
High snap, Hawkins keeps it, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Timing got thrown off on that play as the snap went high and to his left, and he had to one-hand it, and there was no chance to really hand the ball off after that.
They still haven't thrown a pass outside of the one pass that didn't count.
And honestly, they haven't needed to.
They haven't needed to.
So if you're in conditions like this with some rain, and wind, why would you throw the ball if you're running it this effectively?
Yeah, I think Oklahoma's getting themselves a good one.
2nd and goal now, just outside the 1.
You're talking about a kid that you're talking about dual threat passers. Dual threat quarterbacks are typically guys that are run first, one read type guys, and he is not that.
Snap back to Hawkins, handoff up the middle, and an easy walk-in touchdown for Cameron Lockhart. He scored both touchdowns for the Mavericks, and it's a 2-score lead for Emerson.
It's time to regroup, Mustangs. It's time to get over to the bench and regroup a little bit. Your offense has to come out now and have a drive. You have to get back in this football game, and it's going to be the offense that's going to have to get you back in it.
Senior number 82, Pedro Pacheco, on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 10:55 to go in the first half. Emerson has just methodically driven it down the field 2 times and have scored touchdowns on both possessions. It's 14-0 Emerson. This is Mustang Friday night on Tradio.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on.
The kickoff goes out of bounds on the far side of the field, as that one didn't exactly travel, I think, the way number 81, Nicholas Lim, wanted it to, and so the Mustangs will take over at their own 30-yard line here on this next possession. And now this Mustang offense needs to get something going. Their last possession, they got a first down on a big run from DeMontres Dunn. Another big run by Harrison Hagbarth got him a first down, but then a penalty wiped it out, and they ended up being forced to punt. This Mustang offense is going to need to pick up their defense and get a drive going and get some points on the board. 1st and 10 at the 30. And
another stoppage.
Timeout for Emerson. Their second of the half. I think they didn't have guys either the right guys on the field or guys lined up right, and they go ahead and take a timeout here. It's their second of the half. It's a quick one because they're already coming back on the field. There was just something that wasn't right for them defensively.
They must have been missing somebody or wanted to change out somebody.
We've now switched into the field, obviously, as we're in the second quarter, so now the Mustangs are heading into this wind. Everybody coming back out onto the field. It's Dunn and Carradine in the backfield out of this power pistol on 1st and 10 behind Hackbarth. With Darius Burns and Will Matheny, Burns to the near side, Matheny to the far side at wide receiver. Snap back, play action, and it's a fake. Hackbarth takes it. He's got room, lots of room, out to the 40, to midfield. He's in the open field, down to the 30, the 25, and finally chopped down in Emerson territory all the way down at the 18-yard line, a 52-yard run from Harrison Hackbarth, but we have a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, what a great play by Harrison Hackbarth, but we may see his second big run of the night be taken away by penalty. And that was his biggest run of the season.
We have a chop block penalty called on the play. That was the speed option to the far side. Hackbarth just did a little fake pitch and just took off up the numbers and had tons of open grass.
Great blocking by Will Matheny all the way downfield.
I believe I heard 72 Ben Williams is who they called the chop block on.
So chop block, for those that don't know, you can't engage a player with one offensive lineman and then block him with another. That is an illegal chop block. You simply can't do it. We don't have a replay to see that that's what happened, but
that is what the call was. They called it on
that.
Ben Williams, number 72, and it's a massive penalty. It's a 15-yarder, treated like a personal foul. So that moves it all the way back to the 15-yard line where it'll be 1st and 25. The Mustangs have now had 2 big runs by Harrison Hackbarth, taken away by penalty here in this first half. Snap back, handoff up the middle, and Dunn nearly breaks one. Got out past the 20 to the 21-22 yard line, and a nice open field tackle by Agape Lawrence, number 11, who probably saved a massive gain right there.
Yeah, Lawrence saved a huge play because Dunn was going up that middle, and we've seen it so many times. Yeah, the Red Sea had parted. Both safeties were on the hashes. Dunn was about to go.
It was still a good gain of 7 yards on first down by DeMontres. Second down and 18 now at the 22-yard line. Snap back, handoff to Dunn again, and this time just nowhere to go.
Again, it's just really tough because what they're trying to do, the Mavericks, is funnel everything inside. So their defensive ends are pinched in, their corners are outside, but they're playing inside technique. The safeties are inside the hashes. They're trying to push everything inside. That's why those quick speed options have been somewhat successful.
And that time the Mustangs came out in a 2 tight end set and just went up the middle with Dunn. I'm not so sure about that one on 2nd 18.
At that point, I think you're trying to get the ball to your best player and hope that he can, make a guy miss and make a play.
And now another timeout, the final one of the first half, taken by Emerson, is again there was something on defense that they didn't have correct. And they just as guys started to get lined up, the coaches immediately called timeout. There's 9:19 to go in the first half. This is honestly a huge 3rd down and 15, which is another reason why I didn't quite understand that 2nd down play call. When you're at 2nd and 18, you need to get your offense going and try to get a big chunk to at least set up 3rd and manageable, but you come in 12 personnel and just do a run up the middle. I don't quite get that.
At the very least, I want you to at least show a threat that you may drop back and throw the ball. I mean, at least show that. We know that Harrison can throw. I don't think he's thrown an incompletion in a few weeks, so we know that that's possible. They have to be ready for it too. Right now, without showing them that they can throw the football, it's making life really easy for this Maverick defense.
Or even maybe try and get it out to the edges in some open space. So now that both teams come back out on the field, the Mustangs come out in a true stacked eye with 3 running backs. You have Bell, Dunn, and Carradine all in the backfield behind Hackbarth. Snap back, speed option to the near side. Hackbarth's got plenty of room. Near side to the 35, 40, 45, and finally pushed out of bounds at midfield. That was right on the sideline, no flag. Agape Lawrence, the linebacker, I think he hit Hackbarth right as he got to the sideline and pushed him out of bounds. But that time, no flags on the field, and it is a 25-yard run from Harrison Hackbarth. That's what we've noticed. This speed option most of the time has been opening up for Hackbarth just to take lanes because they're rightly, understandably going out to cover Carradine first.
Yeah, Carradine's going to get the attention, and that's going to leave Harrison with some good blocking to get the seal, get the edge.
Handoff on first down to Connor Bell. He powers his way past the line for a gain of a yard, but Agape Lawrence, the junior linebacker, hits him right in the hole. Agape Lawrence is one of the best 2 players on this defense. He is second on the team. He's got 6 quarterback hurries. He's tied for the team lead with 4 sacks. He really takes advantage of some of the attention that gets paid to A.J. Johnson, number 35 at defensive tackle.
Yeah, he's done a great job here tonight, and we don't see too many people stand up Connor Bell.
Not very often.
He's usually the more aggressive guy running people over. Not that time.
Gain of a yard on first down. 2nd and 9 now at the 49 of Emerson. Handoff to Dunn. Up the middle, hops over a defender and gets brought down there at about the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, setting up 3rd and 5 now at the Maverick 45-yard line.
You get the idea that they feel like they can get those 2 to 3 yards up the middle and then hit that speed option on the outside for the big play. That seems to be the formula right now.
8:05 to go here in the first half. The Mavericks lead by a score of 14-0. This is only the 2nd drive of the game for Grapevine, as the Mavericks have had 2 time-consuming drives to put their touchdowns on the board. 3rd and 5, 2 receivers to the far side, 2 tight ends in the game. Snap back, Hackbarth going to throw for the first time. He gets pressured and gets blasted, but here comes a late flag. We'll see if this is defensive or offensive.
He hit him in the head. I think it's going to be a hit to the head here on the quarterback.
Actually, I just saw the referee make a signal. It's going to be a face mask against Emerson. May have been on the block for all we know. But the one thing I did see is that the pocket collapsed quickly on Hackbarth.
This is what I've seen now, Jacob. 2 plays on this drive. Harrison has taken tremendous hits, one at the end of the run and one there in the pocket. He's kind of out there shaking his head right now. I promise you he's not feeling 100%, and we need him at his best right now to finish this drive.
The personal foul moves the ball down to the Mavericks 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. In very much need right now of points on the board to counteract what the Mavericks have done offensively so far in this game. It's going to be...
Sorry, Jacob.
Going to be Dunn and Carradine in the backfield in the power pistol. Matheny to the near side, Burns to the far side at wide receiver. With Wagner in at tight end. Handoff to, speed option, and Hackbarth nowhere to go that time. Played very well by this defense for the Mavericks. Number 30, Tyson Cannon, the safety, came up and was in the backfield that time to make Harrison not be able to pitch it.
Yeah, they had Harrison covered up. They had Carradine covered up. There's just nowhere to go. The toughness that we're seeing out of Harrison Hackbarth right now, though, you can't underestimate that. He has been taking shots, and he's still out there putting it out for his team, running with the football, trying to run people over. I love it.
2nd and 13, 3-yard loss back to the 33-yard line. Power pistol formation with Dunn and Carradine in the backfield. Snap back. Speed option, up the middle goes Hackbarth inside the 30, and nice gain by Harrison. They're going to mark him at the 27-yard line, a gain of 6.
Wow, and that wasn't planned, I don't think.
No,
I think he saw something and just hit the hole and went up the middle.
I think that was supposed to be that speed option look again, and he saw them quickly flow to the outside and just cut right up the middle and ended up getting a good gain to set up 3rd and 7 here.
You know what I like here, watching how fast they're getting out to that speed option now, is a little speed, kind of speed option right, draw left. You know, we've seen a couple of other teams do that to us this year.
This time Bell in the backfield along with Dunn on 3rd down. Handoff to Connor Bell. He is not able to get to the outside, is flowing through the traffic. Was Agape Lawrence, number 11, the middle linebacker, and he got to Connor Bell after only a gain of about 1.5 yards, and the field goal team is going to come on.
Lawrence has simply been all over the field tonight. Gosh.
I was wondering if this was 4-down territory. I have my answer now. Is even into this win, they're going to bring on the field goal team with Hayden Rhodes to try a 42-yarder. I thought you might see the Mustangs go for it here, especially going into this win.
I would agree with that.
Snap is down. The kick is on the way. Plenty of leg, and that kick is good. Hayden Rhodes drills the 42-yarder and gets the Mustangs on the board. It is a 14-3 Emerson lead with 5:26 to go in the first half. This is Mustang Friday Night, presented by Tradio. The Mustangs get some points on the board thanks to a 42-yard field goal from Hayden Rhodes, and that makes it a 14-3 ball game. Jacob Dettamore and Tim Smith from Champion Sports Radio here with you. That is field goal number 9 on the season for Hayden Rhodes. He's now 9 for 12 on the year. And he boots this kickoff high into the wind. The wind does hold it up. It is returnable at the 9-yard line by Izzy Bills. Makes a man miss. Now we see a man get dragged down, and nice tackle by Matheny. Will Matheny came up and made a great tackle on Izzy Bills at the 26-yard line to prevent a big gain on that kickoff.
Ooh, Izzy's got some hips, doesn't he?
He really does.
Golly, I mean, we don't see Brady Boozer miss, and here he's come running downfield like a torpedo and just misses.
Izzy Bills and
Great
Cameron Lockhart, both of these tailbacks, have a lot of Shakira in their running style.
I love that.
A lot of hips don't lie.
And Matheny wasn't standing for it, and he made sure to get his arms around him and slam him to the ground. Carly's dancing up here behind us. I don't know what's happening.
She liked the Shakira reference. 1st and 10 at the 26 for the Mavericks. 2 receivers near side, single receiver far side. Handoff to Bills, going to the far side, and nice tackle that time as the Mustangs got to him. That was Darion Burns, number 3, who came up and made the tackle from his cornerback position after only a 2-yard gain for Bills. One of the better plays so far in this by the defense tonight.
Love that play by Burns. I really enjoy watching aggressive corners that come up in the run game and make those tackles for short gains.
Well, the way this team is running right now, they're doing a lot of stuff to the outside. Your cornerbacks are going to have to get off blocks and come up and make tackles. 2nd and 8. Again, 2 receivers near side, single receiver far side. This time Hawkins keeps it, but the Mustangs play it well, and he's got nowhere to go, but he makes men miss, and now he's getting to the outside. He's actually going to get yardage out of this. What an athletic play by Michael Hawkins. He made 2 Mustang defenders miss about 10 yards in the backfield, able to spin away and then get upfield and actually get about 3 yards out of that.
Out here playing backyard football, Jacob. What is going on?
That was pure sandlot because they tried to go zone read to the far side of the field, and there was nothing there, and he just did that all on his own. 3rd and 5 now at the 31. And blitz shown, and we're going to have an offside. This is a free play for the Mavericks. They throw the ball way downfield, and that was way out of bounds as the wind carried that. But one of the Mustangs who showed blitz got into the neutral zone on the snap.
Well, that's what you do when you're a smart center. You see that the defender get into the neutral zone, you snap the ball, you get the flag. And he went to his best player downfield, but there was a miscommunication or the ball sailed, one of the two.
That was a good hard count, I think, by Hawkins that time, too. So that moves the ball out to the 36, 1st and 10 for Emerson. 4:25 to go here in the first half. Emerson leading 14-3. The Mustangs in desperate need of a stop on defense. See if they could get the ball back to their offense because the Mustangs will have the ball to start the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers near side, single receiver far side. 1st and 10 at the 36. Snap back, handoff to to Lockhart. He gets whacked on the far sideline.
Cooper Towery.
Number 31, and now flags come in late, and Cooper Towery, actually that was Devin Thomas, who may get flagged for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That was Cameron Lockhart, who just got whacked on the far sideline as he was headed out of bounds. It was only going to be a 1-yard gain, but then there was a lot of yapping going on between the two teams. Devin Thomas was right in the middle of that, and they are going to get Devin Thomas for the 15-yard penalty. You've got to keep your head in games like this. You can't let guys get you into S-talking matches, basically, and get you 15-yard penalties. The Mustangs now, that's another crucial penalty. It's been the Mustangs in the first half that have been getting victimized by penalties, taking first downs off the board on offense, and now a couple of penalties on defense to give Emerson first down.
And it was Emerson that we knew coming into it was had a tendency to be a little sloppy and get some penalties, and the usually very disciplined Grapevine Mustangs have shot themselves in the foot more than once tonight with these penalties.
Well, and that's just one by a senior captain that you just cannot have.
Cannot, especially after a huge hit by Cooper Towery on the sideline.
That penalty moves it to the Grapevine 49, 1st and 10. This time they go with a jet sweep, but the Mustangs are all over it, and they're going to drop it for a loss. Cooper Towery and multiple other Mustangs, including Devin Thomas and Major Hecht, all in on that tackle as they try to jet sweep to Cameron Newborn and dropped him for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, Cooper was there first and then gang tackling. It certainly is not going to take it's going to take more than one guy, it seems, tonight to take these running backs down.
Yeah, all of these wide receivers and running backs are very athletic. That's honestly, like you said, outside of the one pass that was taken away by a penalty, it's been all tailbacks and quarterback in the run game, and they finally get one of the receivers involved in a jet sweep, and he gets dropped for a yard loss. 2nd and 11 at midfield, snap back. It's play action. Hawkins makes a man miss, getting into the open field. Now he's coming to the near sideline. He fires one deep down the field. He has a man, but he misses him. Hawkins looked like he was going to take off and try and get some yards, but then at the last minute, he unloaded for a man that had leaked downfield. That was, again, Cameron Newborn, number 15, but the wind just carried that one beyond him.
Yeah, that certainly looked like that was a wind-assisted ball, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was going the right way, and then it kind of floated over to the left towards the P, like you talked about, wind going from M to P across the field. They're going into that Panthers end zone. Going to the right where the S is, throws the ball to about the H, but it floats over to the P.
And you can speak to this as a former quarterback. That's what kind of happens when you kind of last second decide to unleash the ball. You don't really have your
your
body
mechanics
set.
aren't under you. Your legs aren't under you.
Shotgun snap back. Hawkins looking to throw. He fires one crossing pattern, and it's dropped.
Just dropped.
Don't know if the first down would have been able to get achieved by Kelton Wafer, number 14, but he was running a crosser about the Grapevine 45 as Hawkins came back to him late, and he just flat dropped that pass.
Just dropped the ball, and now Grapevine with 3 minutes has an opportunity to score again and get the ball back coming out of the half, so they have put themselves in a good position with that defensive stop.
The Mustangs finally get a stop on defense for the first time tonight. 4th down at midfield. On to punt is number 8, Cameron Lockhart, the running back. And he will boot this end over end, but the wind's carrying it. It's caught at the 14 and returnable. Up to the 20, 25, break a tackle into open field, out past the 35. Great return by number 25, Thomas Powers, who went back, caught that line drive, broke a couple of tackles, and got it all the way out to the 38-yard line, a 24-yard return for Powers.
Heck of a return. And this is how wet it is out there. When he got tackled, it looked like a slip and slide. Water just came up from that field everywhere, so it's sloppy, it's wet. Nice return, great vision, great blocking. They don't return a lot of punts. We haven't seen a lot of punt returns, so well executed.
Ends up only being a 12-yard punt thanks to the return by Powers of 24 yards. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, 3:07 to go. They have all 3 timeouts to play with. And they go
Emerson has none.
Power pistol with Dunn and Carradine in the backfield. Snap back, hand off to Dunn, and just nowhere to go. Penetration in the backfield almost immediately that time as getting in to make that tackle. I believe that was a man we referenced. No, it wasn't. I thought it was number 35. It was number 88, the defensive end, Keaton Blanton, who just got in there immediately and wrapped up Dunn right at the line of scrimmage.
And that was weird because they had Carradine actually going away from the play that time that didn't fool anybody.
No.
So that was a little odd to me.
2nd and 10 now. This time they go with a 3-wide set with Carradine in the slot on the near side. Snap back play action. Quick pass, and it's off target. That pass that time from Hackbarth, he was trying to hit Carradine on a quick out of the slot and just threw it too far out in front.
Yeah, that's a pass that you have to make, but I will say it's difficult. 2 minutes to go here in the first half, 2:27. You haven't thrown a pass since pregame about an hour and a half ago. Not easy to come out here and start completing passes in the game.
And also the Mustangs going into this 15-mile-an-hour wind out of the north.
Also not helpful.
3rd and 10 now for the Mustangs at their own 38. Again, they come out in that 3-wide set. Near side, it is Carradine and Matheny. Far side is Darius Burns. Dunn in the backfield, and now Matheny comes in motion. Snap back. Hackbarth looking to throw, fires it out. That pass is incomplete. Again, trying to hit Carradine on the out pattern. Carradine tried to make the diving catch and just couldn't get to it. That time the coverage, Brandon Maxey, number 6, was there trying to see if he could undercut and get a hand on the pass. And again, that's one of those, that's a long throw to make for Hackbarth into this wind. You have to think the wind may have had a bit of an effect on that.
Well, it was a long throw. I still think it was a good throw. I think it was good ball placement, low and outside, away from the defender who had good coverage. I think we have to make that catch.
Well,
but it's hard to tell from up here, so I don't want to say that too loudly, but it looked like a catchable ball from here.
Rhodes with the punt into the wind, gets a nice roll. It's going to roll inside the Emerson 20-30 and get down at the 26-yard line. It's going to be a 36-yard punt.
You wonder if Emerson's going to open it up now. 2-11, you're up by 2 scores. Do you open it up, or are you content with this lead and you just kind of run the clock out to end the half?
2:11 to go in the first half. They don't have any timeouts. Again, this is high school, so the clock does stop after a first down. I tell you what, they could go either direction because in their run game, they have been getting big chunks tonight.
They have. I feel like we'll know a lot about what their plans are by this first play.
The thing is you got with 2:11, that's plenty of time to do whatever you want. You may see them run a little bit more tempo than we have in this first half.
That's what I mean. Like if they run the ball here and get 8, 10, 12 yards, then I think they're going to start moving a little bit.
Snap back on first down, and it's going to be a loss on the play as Hawkins, I thought, was going to pull it out and keep it, and now we have a late flag. Izzy Bills was tackled in the backfield at the 19. It's going to be a 7-yard loss. I'm not sure what the flag was for. I didn't see any kind of a late hit, but we also have a flag at the line of scrimmage as well.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Let's see how they unpack this mess. But that play, by the way, is not conducive to Mavericks moving quickly.
The thing is they're going to call Cooper Towery for unnecessary roughness. I don't agree with that call because Izzy Bills was being tackled around the leg. He was still upright and not on the ground, and Cooper Towery just came in to finish off the play. Now, the whistle may have blown right before he hit him, but you've got to give some leeway on a play like that.
Well, he also looked like he was about to pitch the ball back to the quarterback. If you looked at it, he was kind of moving the ball out, so Cooper has no choice but to go and make the tackle there. I'm not a fan of that call whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't like that call at all. Now, it happened back at the 19, so it's not a huge penalty, but it gives them first down. It's a penalty. It ends up being about an 8-yard penalty. Handoff on first down, and Towery hits the running back again. It's going to be a gain of 3. Check that. That was Maddox Stanley. That was 37, not 31. But Izzy Bills got hit right after he crossed the line and kind of fell forward for a 3-yard gain.
I don't know if it was Maddox or Cooper or both because they both came off the pile. Someone has woken up Cooper Towery, though. Even with that flag, he has been out here lighting people up.
This is, I really disagree with that call from the referee because it happened right after the whistle, and the running back is still upright. Snap back. Hawkins keeps it on the – nope, he keeps it, gives it to Bills, who has the first down. We do have a flag down back near the line of scrimmage, 2 of them now. This may be coming back as Bills drives the pile forward to the Grapevine 48. If it stands, it'll be a gain of 15 yards, but I do think that this one may be coming back.
I think it was number 60, at least one of the flags from the Mavericks, that was holding on to Leighton Towery for dear life around his ankles and not letting him free.
Yeah,
I think he's going to get one of the calls.
Braden Garza, number 60. He's the starting left tackle on this Mavericks football team. And I think you're right. I think this one's going to be exactly that. All right, well, never mind.
Wow,
Penalties
Grapevine
offset.
just can't get away from
Grapevine
them.
right now it needs to get out of their own way with some of the penalties that they're committing, whether you agree with them or not. Bottom line is Grapevine is getting called for multiple 15-yard penalties in this first half. That is really hurting their football team on both sides of the ball.
This is reminiscent back to the pre-district games where they had a little issues with penalties in those first couple games and got that figured out. But it's rearing its ugly head here once again tonight.
So the penalties offset to make it once again 2nd and 7. We're under a minute to go here in the first half. The ball is at the 37-yard line. Hawkins, play action, fires one down the field, and that pass is dropped. He had a wide open receiver on the far side of the field. Yeah, that's the Texas State commit, Kylan Evans. He stopped because he had to wait on the ball, but there was nobody around him. That was going to be a massive gain into Grapevine territory, and it just hit him in the chest and went to the turf.
Bounced right off his chest, and he has no one to be upset with but himself on that one. Everybody saw that because he was all by himself. And it would have been, I don't think it's a touchdown, but it's certainly a huge play.
He was standing stock still, so you doubt he's going to score on that. But 3rd and 7 now at the 37-yard line, 48 seconds to go in the first half, and we're going to have movement as Devin was drawn. Devin was drawn off. Yeah, it's going to be a false start. Devin was drawn off sides by I believe that was the left guard that time, Viana, number 55, Brian Viana. So back it up 5 yards back to the 32. The interesting thing about this possession is we haven't seen much sense of urgency at all from Emerson, and maybe they were waiting to pop one before they went tempo.
Well, I think that one was the pop that they were looking for, and he drops the football. Now you've penalized. It's 3rd and long. Now I don't think you're thinking about scoring. You're thinking about getting out of this half without giving up anything.
3rd and 12, snap back. It's going to be a handoff. Bills breaks a tackle in the backfield. He's coming to the near side. He's still got room, and he's up the sideline in Grapevine territory inside the 30 before he's knocked out of bounds. It wasn't Bills. It was Lockhart, who has made multiple defenders miss tonight, and he did so again, and he gets it all the way down to the Grapevine 27-yard line. A massive play of 50 yards.
Well, makes me look silly. Egg on my face, Jacob, because I just said they weren't going to try to score, and there they go.
Well, I think that was just your typical handoff. Grapevine had defenders there, and Lockhart just made guys miss.
Yeah, I mean, you had them about 4 yards deep in the backfield. I'm not even sure who that was that had him so quickly and missed him.
46-yard run from Lockhart, 1st and 10 at the Grapevine 27. Hawkins drops back, looking to throw. He steps up into the pocket and breaks a tackle. Now he's into the open field, but he's going to get knocked out of bounds after making another man miss. Cooper Towery missed the tackle. The Grapevine defenders right now just cannot bring anybody down on defense.
No, they've had a problem tackling all night, but I'll tell you, this quarterback, and he has shown us, Michael Hawkins has shown us nothing but next-level quarterback play when he's had the ball in his hands, and Grapevine hasn't seen a guy like this all year.
Gain of 7 yards by Hawkins. Right now the issue is penalties and tackling. The Mustang defense multiple times tonight has had a defender there, and they just slide right off.
Tackling has been poor, but I tell you what, these athletes are a little bit better than what we've been seeing the last couple weeks.
Good athletes, no doubt. 2nd and 3 at the 20-yard line, 27 seconds. Hawkins drops back, looking to throw. Now he's flushed to the left. He fires one towards the end zone, and that one is incomplete. Defender was there. Ryan Hamilton was right there on the coverage that time as he was trying to get the ball to number 4. Not number 4. He's trying to get that ball to
number 3.
Number 3, Matias Machado in the end zone, but Ryan Hamilton was right there. There was a lot of contact, but it was from my vantage point, it was a lot of hand fighting in the end zone.
And that's fine. That's fine. I think that's a great play. You can't throw a flag in that situation.
If you're on offense, you want the flag. If you're on defense, you think it's good defense. It's it's one of those 50-50 balls. 3rd and 3 now for the Mavericks at the Grapevine 20 with 19 seconds to go. 2 receivers far side, single receiver near side. Hawkins drops back, steps up into the pocket, fires one to the middle, and that is almost intercepted. Oh, Major Heck nearly came up with a big turnover, made a diving attempt at an interception on the pass over the middle, and just couldn't keep his hands on it as he was trying to hit. Hawkins was trying to hit his tight end, number 19, Matthias Talavera.
And he had him. He was just a little bit late, so what's he trying to do? He's trying to throw it back shoulder because he wants to protect him, because he's running into coverage, because he's a little late with the read. But Major Heck able to undercut it and make a heck of a play down there at the goal line.
That would have been a phenomenal interception if Major Heck had been able to hang on the diving attempt. Now the field goal team is on. This will be a 37-yard attempt for the Mavericks. The snap is down. The kick is up. It's on the way, but it is no good. It hooks to the far side of the field as number 82, Pedro Pacheco, with the wind at his back, hooks it, and the wind pushes it wide left. And with 7 seconds to go, the Mustang defense comes up with a very needed stop.
Yeah, you did not want to give up anything there, especially because you thought you had them stopped here with about 30 seconds to go in the half. So now you can come out, get into the locker room, regroup, and come out, get the ball, and hopefully put something together to start the third quarter.
The Mustangs will have the ball to start the third quarter. And right now they're just going to bring the offense and kneel this one down here and send this to the half as they're at the 20-yard line. And they're going to go to the half down by a score of 14-3 to the Emerson Mavericks. Snap is on. And Hackbarth takes the knee at the 15-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first half. So the Mustangs, Tim, as we get ready to send this to halftime, the Mustangs, I think at halftime, this is a team that you can't make mistakes again. And right now the Mustangs are making too many mistakes with penalties and with poor tackling.
I think that's going to be the conversation in the locker room is let's tackle, let's stop having 15-yard personal fouls and all the penalties that we've had. Right, we've got to be mentally strong in this situation. And I'll tell you what, we've got to figure out what our best game plan is offensively, because the most important drive of a game like this is that first drive in the third quarter.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We'll have the halftime show for you here from Mustang Panther Stadium. It is 14-3 Emerson in this by-district playoff game in 5A Division II. This is Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Now's the time to get your home ready for the holidays. Let our family at Stacy's help. We make it easy for you. New collections are arriving daily for every room in your home. Our design staff is ready to help you create the perfect room for your holiday entertaining. At Stacy's, our quality name brand selection and prices won't be beat. And right now, you can save even more during our holiday home sale. Save $300, $400, $500 or more during Stacy's store-wide holiday home sale. Remember, if you're shopping at Stacy's, you're shopping with family.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
Notice, excess Chevy Equinox models from across the region will be sold at one DFW location. Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine's one-time Equinox offload. $7,000 off MSRP or payments under $300 a month. You heard right. Buy for only $299 a month. Excess new 2024 Chevy Equinox direct to the public. $7,000 off or $299 a month. Nationwide shipping. Final notice. Excess Equinox models must be sold at Classic Chevrolet.
Now's the time to get your home ready for the holidays. Let our family at Stacy's help. We make it easy for you. New collections are arriving daily for every room in your home. Our design staff is ready to help you create the perfect room for your holiday entertaining. At Stacy's, our quality name brand selection and prices won't be beat. And right now, you can save even more during our holiday home sale. Save $300, $400, $500 or more during Stacy's store-wide holiday home sale. Remember, if you're shopping at Stacy's, you're shopping with family.
Back here at Mustang Panthers Stadium, it is halftime here in this bi-district playoff game in 4-5A Division II between the Grapevine Mustangs and the Emerson Mavericks. Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith here on Champion Sports Radio. The halftime score, the Emerson Mavericks lead the Grapevine Mustangs 14-3. That second quarter was brought to you by our friends at Compass Church. And this halftime show brought to you by Chill in Grapevine. Eat, drink, and dance at Chill. And right now we're just going to take you down for the sounds of the Emerson Maverick drill team and marching band in their halftime performance.
Tonight's entertainment continues with the Emerson High School Marching Band. With Veterans Day coming up, our first musical selection honors our veterans for their service to our country as they perform the song An American Tribute. player, Stacy. Captain, Kate Gibson. First Lieutenant, Ava Chondow. And Lieutenant Hannah Marchman. Our village first officers are President Sarah Randolph, Vice President Emily Daniel, Secretary Emily France, Historian Emily Litton, Chancellor Emily Jones, Social Media Administrator Kathleen Bailey, Philanthropy Chair Nancy Alexander, and Student Advocate Abby Fry. Now please welcome the field, the Grapevine. That is Billy James. Good job, direction, taking over. This week's staff recognition is none other than Mrs. Jane Rose. Thank you for all you do for the Phillies and for Grapevine High School in general. This week's Spirit Girl is Ashley Goins. Rookie of the week is Eliana Peterson. And our Philly Honor Girl is Melody Munoz. Phillies will be performing a field stringer to Don't Stop the Music. Another special thank you goes out to our incredible Grapevine High School Mustang Day for all you guys who support us. And for everybody out there in the Mustang State, go Grapevine! Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome to the field the Grapevine High School Marching Band. Tonight the Grapevine Band will be performing an exciting stand tune to Rescue Me. Next up, joined us by Stand Your Feet Mustang Nation as part of DHS Axel.
Jacob Denimore and Tim Smith back here with you at Mustang Panther Stadium. The Grapevine Mustang Marching Band just finishing their halftime routine. Got about 4.5 minutes to go left in halftime before we get things started. The Mustangs trail the Emerson Mavericks by a score of 14-3 at the half. Let's give you some of the numbers from halftime here. Stat-wise, it's been dominated from a yardage standpoint by Emerson. They've outgained the Mustangs 227-72. Everything has been on the ground as there hasn't been a pass completed by either team yet. Harrison Hackbarth is 0 for 2. Michael Hawkins is 0 for 5, although he's had a couple of drops in this and also had nearly threw an interception there towards the end of the first half. Rushing, Harrison Hackbarth leads the team with 6 carries for 37 yards. DeMontrez Dunn right behind him with 6 carries for 32. The Emerson rushing attack has been very impressive. Cameron Lockhart, 8 carries for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Hawkins, the quarterback, right there with him, 8 carries for 86. And Izzy Bills has 13 carries for 48. He's had a few negative plays as well that have cut his numbers down. The Mustangs look like the last couple of possessions, were able to get stops, even though they did give up some yardage. The Mustangs may have, made a couple of adjustments. We'll see. But the bottom line is two things need to happen in this second half. They need to cut out really mindless penalties and then also figure out a way to start tackling some of these ball carriers in the open field.
And that had to be the discussion at halftime, and maybe Grapevine needs to come out and do some of the drills that the Mavericks are doing in pregame where they were tackling each other. Again, pretty bizarre. I've never seen that. But, yeah, hey, guys, let's tackle. Hey, let's stop the penalties, and then maybe we give ourselves a chance. I don't like the fact that Harrison is the leading rusher right now. As much as I like Harrison, I don't like him being the leading rusher for the team. He's had a lot of open field
to run in this game.
He has. I think there's going to have to be some ways to take advantage of the way that the Mavericks are playing defense. And I think Carradine not getting any touches in the first half, that's a little alarming as well.
Well, and I think they've run, and that's where Harrison has had a lot of yards. He even had a 50-some-yard run brought back by a penalty.
Yep.
His runs have come on that speed option play where, understandably, the Emerson defense has been flowing to Carradine first, and that's opened up a lot of running room for Harrison Hackbarth. But that's what I wanted to get back to. Obviously, the conditions aren't going to change. We're going to have a north wind coming out of the north end of the stadium from the M to the P, as you said, on the field for the rest of this ball game with the rain starting to come down a little bit harder. It's going to be off and on.
You can see it in the lights.
What do you want to see from the Mustangs offensively to try and get a little more consistency and get on track?
Yeah, I think you have to be a little creative in still doing what you want to do, and that's run the football. But I think lining up 2 tight ends, it's, second and long and you're running a dive play, I don't think that's going to get it done. I think we have to find some creative ways, maybe some screen plays, screen passes to the receivers, get the ball in the guys that can run with the speed and get them in open space. That's what we need to see from Grapevine's offense to get some momentum.
Maybe, obviously we see it a lot, maybe a little more 3-wide formation out of this offense where you can bring Carradine in motion into the backfield to set it up. Maybe try to get Dunn on the outside. We know DeMontra's Dunn. He obviously is a very strong runner between the tackles, but he's also got a lot of speed and a lot of miss ability in the open field. Maybe see if they can get him on the corners and on the edges against this defense.
Yeah, right now it seems from up here, it seems up front on both the line of scrimmage on offense and defense that Grapevine is losing that battle. And they don't lose that battle very often, but here tonight, that seems to be what's happening, right? You're getting very good position blocks by the Maverick offensive linemen that are getting these D-line and linebackers out of position a lot. And then when they are there for the tackle, then the running backs are just uberly talented with a lot of wiggle, able to break tackles, and it's very slippery out there. So, you know what? It's going to take a team. It's going to take a whole mentality shift to come out here, be a little bit more physical, and then be a little bit creative on offense.
The Mustangs are going to get the ball on offense to start this second half, down 14-3. I think another thing I'd like to see, I think is going to be very incumbent upon the members of the secondary, guys like Darius Burns and Ryan Hamilton, to make sure they're able to get off blocks and make plays in this run game, because these conditions are not great to pass the ball in. We've already seen that tonight as neither team has completed a pass. And right now, this Emerson offense has done a phenomenal job blocking on the outsides as well as the line of scrimmage to break open big runs.
Yeah, they have some big receivers out there, big, strong, physical guys that are getting on their blocks. I mean, the DBs for Grapevine outside of Brady Boozer aren't very big, and so you're right. It's about getting off those blocks, seeing it a little sooner, maybe not being as worried about their pass game because this wind is making it very difficult.
This third quarter going to be brought to you by our friends at Classic Chevrolet here in Grapevine. Classic Chevrolet, relax, enjoy the difference. Mustang kick return team going to get out there. The Mustangs are going to be headed into the wind here to start this third quarter. It's not like the Mustangs didn't have success offensively. They did have some success on the ground getting things going. They had some penalties kill a couple of drives, as well as kind of getting stuff down here when they were in position to score and having to go with the field goal. You know, I tell you what, the guy in the first half that has been phenomenal has been number 11, Agape Lawrence, the middle linebacker, the senior. He has been making tons of plays for this Emerson defense in the run game against Grapevine.
Literally has been everywhere and making very sure tackles. And the only person I've seen all season stand up Connor Bell, who hasn't gotten a lot of carries tonight. I'd like to see him get some carries too, because some of this is about wearing down the opposing defensive line, and nobody better than Connor Bell to get out there and kind of beat up that opposing D-line a little bit.
Just an idea, maybe use a little bit of Bell and Dunn in the backfield and use Dunn as that speed option guy and maybe see if you can get him on the edge.
You mentioned it earlier, either you or Trey, I can't remember now, right before halftime was, hey, each time that Grapevine has come out with the two backs, Trey had said it, that they called a timeout, did the Mavericks, and so they weren't quite ready for that. So maybe it is a little bit more two-back set. But I just think a little creation is going to go a long way here tonight for Grapevine.
Teams are both on the field now, ready to get this started. It is going to be number 81, Nicholas Lim, either Lim or Leem, not 100% sure. Number 81 to kick things off. Back deep, it is Rondale Carradine and Bryson Davis to receive this kickoff. And we are underway. A little high short pooch kick caught at the 32 and returnable out to near the 40-yard line. They're going to be at the 39. Is coming up to make the catch is number 25, Thomas Powers, who had a good punt return in the first half. He came up on that pooch kick and sets up the Mustangs at their own 39.
Making some special teams play tonight. I like it. Usually don't see those pooch kicks get returned, but good presence of mind to know that he had some yardage to gain.
We've had Bryson Davis nearly return one for a touchdown this year, and Carradine return one for a touchdown
They're not going to kick
year.
it to them.
They're not going to kick it to him. So Powers, good field position for the Mustangs at their own 39 to start the second half. They have Dunn and Carradine in the backfield on first down. They go speed option, and Hackbarth has it, and he's going to get dragged down. And mama, there goes that man again, number 11, Agape Lawrence, just accelerated into the hole and chased that play down and dropped Hackbarth for a 2-yard loss.
Exactly what we saw in the first half. They covered Carradine well. They follow him because he's the key. Harrison, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take off, and he had a ways to go, but great open field tackle.
2nd and 12 now back at the 37 as Lawrence made a TFL on first down. Shotgun snap back. It's going to be a handoff to Dunn, and he breaks a tackle, and now he's cutting upfield out past the 40 to about the 43. Dunn did a great job making something out of nothing. turned a possible loss on the play into a 5-yard gain to set up 3rd and 7.
And how about Ryan Knight, the senior, staying with his guy on the opposite side of the field, continuing to make a block to allow Dunn, when he does come back that way, to have some room to run. Good job by Ryan Knight.
It's going to be a 6-yard gain to the 43 to set up 3rd and 6 now, after a great run that time on a lot of individual effort by DeMontrez Dunn. Dunn, the only back in the backfield, 2 receivers to the far side on 3rd and 6. Wagner goes in motion, out to the flat. Play action throw to the far side. That pass is just out of the reach. They tried to hit Rondell Carradine on a corner route out of the slot, and Hackbar, throwing into this wind, tried to put a little extra on it and just barely missed Carradine on the far side.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Carradine had misjudged the ball because of the wind. It looked like he was certainly open in there. It's hard from our vantage point to see exactly, but it's just a little bit out of his reach.
So it's going to be a 3 and out for the Mustangs. Hayden Rhodes on to punt. Snap is back, and the punt is away into the wind. Not going to get a lot of distance, and going to bounce and die just inside the 30-yard line. So not much on that punt by Rhodes into this wind, and the Mavericks come out and will start with the ball just inside their own 30 on the first possession of the second half.
Now the defense, right? Because the offense wasn't able to do much. Now the defense is going to come out, and they're going to have to make a play. Maybe a good time to get one of the patented turnovers that they like to get, but this is the time that you at least have to make a stop.
They mark it officially at the 29-yard line. So it ends up being a 28-yard punt from Rhodes. They come out with 3 wides, 2 receivers to the far side, single receiver near side, Bills in the backfield. And Hawkins is going to keep it on first down, and he gets up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles into the open field, and he's up the near sideline, inside the 30 before he's finally pushed out of bounds by Darion Burns. Just another phenomenal athletic play as they went with the zone read. He cut up inside the left tackle and just made 2 players miss on his long run into Grapevine territory. They mark him out of bounds at the 27-yard line. It's 44 yards for Michael Hawkins.
Listen, they pulled the right guard and the left guard around the right side. That brings all of the Grapevine defense over, which leaves a huge hole. The referee actually might have saved the tackle, or might have saved the touchdown, as he was the only one that got in the way there of the quarterback that slowed him up enough to allow Grapevine's defense to rally.
1st and 10 at the Grapevine 27. Slot receiver goes in motion to the outside. Handoff up the middle, inside the 25, down to the 24. We'll see, they may mark it at the 23. It'll be a gain of 4 yards that time, as that was number 5, Izzy Bills, on the carry.
Something to watch now. We saw Hawkins on the big run. He took a huge hit at the end of the play. It took him a minute to get up. He's out there. He looks very uncomfortable. He's grabbing onto his arm a little bit. He's kind of limping around. So we'll see if that makes any difference for how they're going to continue to run these plays and these RPOs.
Hawkins now over 100 yards rushing on the night from the quarterback spot. This time they come out in a 4-wide set. Trips to the far side, single receiver near side. They hand off on a jet sweep action inside the 20. And that was number 3, Mateus Machado, that time on the little jet sweep action. And they get down to they mark him out just outside the 18-yard line. It's a gain of about 5.5 yards, and they're about a half yard short of the first down, just outside the 18.
So second time, right? The passing game isn't really going as they would like for it to go, so they're not getting the ball into Machado's hands downfield. Second time they ran him on that little jet sweep, and he's able to get some yards around the corner of this defense.
First time they tried it with Cameron Newborn, and he got tackled for a yard loss. That time they blocked it up, and he was able to get some yardage. Third and about a half a yard at just outside the Grapevine 18. Again, he comes in motion. Handoff up the middle, first down inside the 15, down to the 10, as Cameron Lockhart's just running through tackles right now, and he sets up 1st and goal at the 9.
The creativity. That time they showed the same motion for the jet sweep. They faked the jet sweep, which gets those linebackers to move just slightly, and then you pop them up the middle for a big gain.
1st and goal for the Mavericks at the Mustang 9-yard line. Just over 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Mustangs in desperate need of a stop here to try and keep this a two-score game. Mavericks come out, 2 receivers to the far side, single receiver near side with Bills in the backfield. Play action, fake, and Hawkins gets wrapped up major heck that time with a great open field tackle. Got into the backfield and tripped up Hawkins as he tried to run through the line and actually dropped him for a loss of a yard.
Sure did. The first time they've really been able to stop him up, and he's got a little hitch in his giddy up. You can see he's kind of trying to stretch out that left leg. Something's going on there. I don't think we're going to see as much explosiveness out of him right now.
Bills checks out, and Lockhart checks in at tailback here on 2nd and goal at the 10. They stay in that 3-wide set. 2 receivers. Slot receiver comes in motion. Hand off to Lockhart. He's trying to get to the far side. He's getting out to the corner, and he is going to get barely knocked out of bounds. Flag down on the field.
We're going to get a hold on Big 65, and it's about time. I was waiting for the call as I was watching the play happen, and it took him a little bit to get the flag out of his pocket, but we got it right.
So back that one up. It would have been 3rd and goal at about the 2-yard line, but the hold is going to move it back. I think this may be, let's see, they're actually going to mark this from the 10. I thought maybe it might have been a downfield hold by the O-lineman, but
no.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
It was on Devin. The lineman in question was holding Devin Thomas.
That would have been the center, Caleb Griffin, number 65, most likely.
And it was egregious, Jacob.
So back it up to the 20-yard line, still 2nd and goal. As the rain coming down, a little thick, about as thick as we've seen it all night.
It's a sheet, and it's kind of moving from left to right.
High snap, and it's picked up by the running back, and they're going to tackle him after about a 2-yard gain. That snap was so high that Cameron Lockhart jumped up.
How high was it, Jacob?
High enough that Hawkins reached high into his left side, and the running back Hawkins Lockhart jumped up to make sure that snap didn't get through, and he actually caught it and just bulled his way around the right side for about a 2-yard gain to the 18.
Yeah, Brady Boozer comes up and makes the sure tackle that time, but you're right, a good presence of mind there. Both players reaching for the ball. Lucky that ball never hit the turf.
3rd and goal for the Mavericks now at the Grapevine 18. Snap back play action. Stepping up is Hawkins. He's out into the open field. He's inside the 10, inside the 5. And did he get into the end zone or not? Touchdown.
Now, see, that's what Dak should have done on Sunday, right there. Keep inbounds and dive for the end zone.
Did you really just bring in an off-air conversation
I really
into
did.
this broadcast?
I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. You see, you get my point? That was a great job. And he's hurt, by the way. He's hobbling around, but not that time. He showed us what it is to be elite and get into the end zone.
The difference between that play and the play on Sunday in Philadelphia was that there wasn't a defender right on him as he was trying to make the play. The extra point is up, and the extra point is good. An 18-yard touchdown run from Michael Hawkins makes it 21-3 Emerson. This is Mustang Friday night on Tradio.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
The Mavericks go 71 yards on that touchdown drive. Again, all on the ground. The big run on that play, there were 2 of them actually. Of course, the 18-yard touchdown run on 3rd down by Michael Hawkins. He gets into the end zone for the first time tonight. But what set all of that up was the 44-yard run from Cameron Lockhart. Actually, no, check that. That was Michael Hawkins as well.
Hawkins, yeah.
So Hawkins does it himself on that drive. The kick is short but returnable. It's caught at the 7 by Bryson Davis. Comes up the middle, outside the 25, and then knocked out of bounds at about the 28, 29-yard line where the Mustangs will take over 1st and 10.
That run was possible by Major Heck. He had a pancake with extra syrup right at about the 22-yard line. Not only did he knock the guy down, but he wasn't going to let him up, Jacob. It was beautiful to see and creates that extra space for the big return.
Now the Mustangs are up against it now. They're down 21-3 here with 6:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. And they need their offense to get a drive together and get some points on the board to get back into this football game. Mustangs come out at their own 20-yard line. Carradine and Dunn in the backfield with Hackbarth in the power pistol. Snap back, speed option. Carradine takes the pitch, and he's going to get the corner up the sideline, up to the midfield. He's turning it on, and he's going to step out of bounds in Maverick territory. They're going to mark him out at the 39-yard line. It's a 32-yard run for Rondell Carradine on his first touch of the night.
Well, that's what we wanted to see, get the ball into Rondell's hand. I'm kind of surprised he stepped out of bounds. That's not like him, but maybe he thought that was the safe play.
I was a little surprised that he did as well. Looked like he could have gotten about 5 or 10 more yards. He was going to get angled off by the defenders, but he definitely had a few more yards to get. Give credit to Brady Wagner on that play. Did a great job sealing the edge and springing Carradine. 1st and 10 at the 39 of Emerson. Snap back, hand off to Dunn. He gets through the line out inside the 35. Going to be a gain of about 6 down to the 33. 32 actually is where they'll mark him down. A 7-yard run. Nice strong run from DeMontrez Dunn.
Sure was. You'd love to see that little off tackle. Nice easy run, but he squeezes through there. And now you're in favorable position here on 2nd down.
That one went over left tackle right behind the senior, number 64, Ryan Knight. 2nd and 3 now for the Mustangs at the 32 of the Mavericks. Dunn and Carradine in the power pistol, one receiver to each side, with Wagner at tight end on the right side of the formation. Snap back, play action, pitch, and Hackbarth's going to get tackled. They played it so well, did the Mavericks that time, as they had one defender on Carradine, and that was number 17, Yachezkel Garcia, and then number 30, Tyson Cannon, the safety, came up and wrapped up Hackbarth.
And they simply have an extra defender over there who's just playing right on top of Carradine. There's no chance to pitch that ball. You pitch that ball, and only bad things are going to happen.
Hackbarth gets dropped back at the 38, or 37. It's a loss of 5. It's now 3rd and 8 for the Mustangs. Just under 5.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. They're going to come out in a 3-wide set. Carradine in the slot on the near side. Snap back, Hackbarth looking to throw. He fires one down the middle of the field. Pass is caught. A great catch in traffic by Will Matheny, the senior number 10. Catches it right as he gets hit by the linebacker, Agape Lawrence. There's that man again, that time dropping back in coverage, but he didn't get there in time. And a great catch by Matheny to keep the drive alive at the 20.
What a throw into the teeth of the defense against this wind. The rain is literally driving into the quarterback's face. And what a catch by Matheny in traffic, getting hit by the middle linebacker that has been all over the field tonight. You make that catch in traffic in the air. It's a great play, quarterback and receiver.
Gain of 17 for Matheny, 1st and 10 at the 20. Connor Bell checks in. He's one of the tailbacks in there with Dunn in the power pistol. Snap back, play action. And this time again, they pitch it out to the far side. Dunn has it inside the 15, in down to the 10-yard line. There it is. That time they had Bell as the up back and Dunn as the tailback, and they used him on the speed option that time. Dunn gets it to the 9-yard line, 1st and goal after a gain of 11.
And they showed a lot of action moving to the left side. We saw the play action, but there was no one to play action to because Connor had gone to the other side. And guess who he was following? Brady Wagner, which took another linebacker with you, which allows you to get that play to Dunn on the corner.
Mustangs on the move, 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dunn and Carradine this time in the power pistol. Behind Hackbarth. Single receiver to the near side. Snap back. Hand off. Nope. Speed option again. Carradine takes it. He's got room inside the 5. And let's see if they're going to mark him out. Looks like he's going to be just short at the 1 as he was going for the pylon. 8-yard run by Carradine on the speed option. 2nd and goal now for the Mustangs.
Really good ball handle work by the quarterback, Harrison Hackbarth, here, because I think we both thought he handed it off.
Yep.
He's doing a great job with his ball handling, which is so important in this triple option type of offense.
And he's doing a great job in his decision making on whether to keep or whether to pitch. 2nd and goal at the 1. Bell and Dunn in the backfield, split to either side of Hackbarth. Shotgun snap, hand off to Bell, and he is going to take it into the end zone as Connor Bell walks it into the corral for a Grapevine Mustang touchdown.
Ring that bell, Connor. It's about time we get the ball to the big man, and Harrison follows him right into the hole. Touchdown, Grapevine, and they're back in it.
A much-needed touchdown drive from the Grapevine Mustangs, and they have now made this a 2-score game again with 3:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hayden Rhodes on for the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:42 to go in the third quarter. It is now 21-10, Emerson. This is Mustang Friday night on Tradio.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation: that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
The kickoff is away. It's high and short, and it's a free ball, but oh, wow, that was so close. The kickoff from Hayden Rhodes got held up by this wind, hit the turf at about the 19-yard line, and bounced back towards midfield, but a very heads-up play by the return man, number 5, Izzy Bills, who went leaping into the air to snag that ball to make sure it wasn't a turnover.
By the way, the Grapevine defenders were running down the field. I'm not sure that they understood it was a live ball at the time because of the way it got hung up.
And I don't think they saw they didn't recognize that it was short is the problem because the wind held it up so much.
Lucky play there for the Mavericks.
They're running down trying to get to the return, and all of a sudden they see the ball hit the turf and bounce up. Izzy Bills recovers it at the 22, 1st and 10. It's a handoff on first down. Coming to the near sideline, it is Bills. He makes Cooper Towery miss, but then gets wrapped up by the rest of the Grapevine defense, but not before he gets 7 yards out to the 29-yard line on first down.
And it's Ty Hohenberger, the big nose tackle, the last one to get off the pile. I'll tell you, this D-line has been impressive all season from Grapevine, going sideline to sideline. You don't see that often, but they are a very good, scrappy bunch.
I'll tell you what, Cooper Towery has to be beyond frustrated right now, as many times as he's been in position to make a tackle and just hadn't been able to bring the ball carrier down.
He's not the only one.
Trips to the far side on 2nd and 3, and Hawkins is going to keep it on the zone read. He's going to the far side of the field. He's going to have the first down and then runs out of bounds at the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7 yards. And again, these receivers for Emerson right now are doing a great job of blocking on these zone read keeps, whether it's a keep or a carry by the running back. Grapevine defenders have got to get off those blocks and start making some plays.
Yeah, at this point, this Maverick offense is just executing better than the Grapevine defense, and it's been like that throughout the majority of this night.
1st and 10 now at the 36 for the Mavericks. They go with trips to the near side this time. Hand off to Bills to the far side, but that time Cooper, he started to make the tackle, and then Bills slipped off of him and gets out to the 41 for a gain of 5. Looked like Towery was going to make the tackle just past the line of scrimmage, but he couldn't hang on. And again, a ball carrier for the Emerson Mavericks just slips right through the hands of a Grapevine defender.
You know, I wonder, back in the 80s, and they talked about Barry Sanders doing this, but they said that running backs would put Vaseline on their arms and their jersey. I wonder if we have some of that going on here tonight.
We have rain, and that is probably part of it as well.
I'll give you that.
It definitely can lead to missed tackles because guys can't get good grips and hang on to ball carriers.
I think I want to look into these jerseys after the game.
2nd and 5. Handoff to Bills up the middle. Not much running room this time. He's going to get maybe a yard. That time, Cooper Towery, along with Brady Boozer, made the tackle after only a yard. Sets up 3rd and 4.
They were like Leonardo DiCaprio in the Titanic, and they were not going to let go on that particular play. I'll never let you go.
Third and 4 for the Mavericks at their own 42-yard line, as we're just over a minute and a half left in the third quarter. 21-10, the Mavericks lead the Mustangs.
Big stop here for Grapevine.
Trips receivers to the near side. It's a very heavy formation to the near side. The tight end lined up as an H-back and all three receivers, and it's going to be a handoff against the formation, and it's going to be a first down. Great job blocking and a great strong run by Cameron Lockhart as he got hit short of the first down and just powered his way out to the 48 for a first down.
Yeah, they show everything to the right, and they simply run left. And Grapevine played it great, but you got to make the tackle at the point of attack, and that's not what happened.
6 yards for Cameron Lockhart to move the sticks.
The thing about this, too, the Mavericks, not only are they winning the line of scrimmage, but they're winning the point of attack. When the running backs are getting hit, they are pushing that pile forward 2, 3, 4 yards each and every time. It's making a huge difference.
They stay in the trips formation to the near side, just as they did on the last play. Snap back, handoff. Nope, it's kept by Hawkins. He goes to the far side of the field. I tell you what, may have gotten away with a hold that time by the tight end, as it looked like Ryan Hamilton, or Darion Burns, I should say, number 3, was trying to break away from number 19, the tight end, Matias Talavera, and it really looked like he was getting held from the inside as he tried to get out to Michael Hawkins.
Well, there's holding on every play. We know that.
Just about.
I'm going to agree with you that they missed a call there. I didn't see it, but I trust your judgment.
Ends up being a 7. Anytime I see a defender trying to pull away from a blocker,
you see the jersey come out.
7 yards on first down for Hawkins at the Grapevine 45. Handoff, nope, kept by Hawkins, and he is going to get inside the 45 and then inside the 40 before he steps out of bounds. It'll be another first down after a gain of 6 by Michael Hawkins. And this ground attack from the Emerson Mavericks tonight has just been virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, we talked about the ball handling skills from Harrison Hackbarth, but I'll tell you what, this Maverick offense is no slouch with the ball handling. You see Hawkins back there, we don't know who's got the ball some of the time. It reminds me of Lamar Jackson in his MVP season when you just didn't know who had the ball in the backfield, and they're doing a great job of that back there.
Both Hawkins and Cameron Lockhart now both over 100 yards on the night. First and 10 at the Grapevine 39, under 30 seconds to go in the third. Snap back, handoff to Bills this time, and he's going to get a couple of yards. And here comes a flag towards the end of the play. We're probably going to have a hold as Maddox Stanley, that was Cooper Towery that time who made the tackle. Great job wrapping up Izzy Bills after only a gain of about 3. But pretty sure there was a tackle. I think both referees just saw it.
Because the other flag came out really, I think he just wanted to be involved.
He just wanted to throw it for emphasis. I saw it too.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And the hold was very obvious right at the point of attack.
They obviously heard you from up here and wanted to make up for the missed call the play before and wanted to keep an eye out for the holding on this play. So that's a nice job by the referee to correct their earlier mistakes.
Looks like they marked that hold a couple of yards downfield. Ends up being an 8-yard penalty, first and 18 back at the 47. Snap back, and it's a handoff to Bills. Makes a move inside the numbers and gets a huge gain inside the 35 down to the 32. Another great run from Izzy Bills as he started to go to the near side and then just cut up inside the numbers and dragged a couple of Grapevine defenders as we have come now to the end of the third quarter. We go to quarter number 4. The Mustangs trail by 11. It's 21-10 Emerson in this bi-district playoff game in 4-5A Division II. This is Mustang Friday night on Tradio.
Attention football fanatics, don't miss out on the opportunity to be a part of Texas football history where dreams are realized, legends are born, and where unforgettable moments unfold before your very eyes. Mark your calendars for the UIL State Football Championships, December 13th through the 16th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where the best teams from 6-man to 6A leave it all on the field in hopes of being named champion. For the latest updates and ticket information, head over to uiltexas.org/football. Again, that's uiltexas.org/football.
We're back for quarter number 4 here at Mustang Panther Stadium. Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith here with you from Champion Sports Radio. The Mustangs in this bi-district playoff game, trailing the Emerson Mavericks out of District 3-5A. They trail 21-10, and the Maverick ground game is on the move again. They are at the Mustang 31, second down and 2, trips to the near side. with a single back. It is Hawkins. Check that, not Hawkins. He didn't keep it. It's number 8, Cameron Lockhart, who once again gets to the corner, then just bounces off tackle attempts and finally gets knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line after a gain of 16.
Somehow Lockhart gets into the pile and then squirts himself out of the pile and is running down the sideline.
Lockhart checks in at 5'10", 181 pounds, and he has just been a load to try and take down tonight, as the Mustangs just have not been able to bring him down with any remote consistency.
At all, and it's been the entire package for the Mavericks. Everyone that's carrying the ball has been running extremely well.
1st and 10 at the 15, again trips to the near side. Lockhart keeps it up the middle, makes a man miss right in the hole, just completely juked Cooper Towery at the line of scrimmage and gets inside the 10 to the 9 after a gain of 6.
That was the definition of ankle breaking. Definition of it. Cooper makes a great play to get it back there, but then grabs a bunch of air. Both legs went out from under him. Almost juked him right off his shoes.
He did. 6-yard gain to the 9-yard line. 2nd and 4 now for the Mavericks. And we are going to have a timeout from Grapevine, as their defense, I mean, it's very possible their defense is pretty gassed right now, as they've just been getting pounded all night long. 11:23 to go here in the ball game. The Mavericks trying to put a score on the board that might put this away, already leading by a score of 21-10.
And I hate to say that so early in this game, early in this fourth quarter, but the way things have been going, it doesn't look good for Grapevine. Even if they can score, their defense has not shown that they can stop the Mavericks from doing much of anything.
It's been a rough night for the Mustang defense, as even with these conditions basically making it extremely difficult to throw the ball, the Mavericks have been able to rely on their ground game. The combination of Michael Hawkins, Cameron Lockhart, and Izzy Bills have run up about 300 yards on the ground tonight.
Yeah, and everyone's contributing, right? We don't see this by Grapevine. This is about 2 or 3 games worth of production against their defense all in one night.
2nd and 4 as teams are back on the field. At the 9-yard line, trips to the near side. Snap back, Bills takes it up the middle this time. He gets stuck just after he crosses the line of scrimmage. Grapevine was able to stop that one up. And they knocked him down after only a gain of 2 to set up 3rd and 2. And we have a player down for the Mavericks. Cannot see a number. Devin Thomas, one of the players in on the tackle that time. I believe that's one of the offensive linemen that's down for the Mavericks right now at the 7-yard line. And the trainers are tending to him. Let's go ahead and take a break while the trainers tend to the young man that's down on the field. 11:10 to go in the fourth quarter. 21-10 Emerson. This is Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The player down on the field for the Mavericks was their starting center, number 65, Caleb Griffin, and he comes off under his own power, but comes off the field very slowly. So checking into the game will be number 52, Jacob Settle, to take over. 3rd and 2 at the 7-yard line. Snap back, and it's a handoff and a missed tackle and a touchdown. As once again, number 8, Cameron Lockhart, just made 2 Grapevine defenders miss. This time it was actually behind the line of scrimmage, made 2 guys just completely whiff, and then just cut it up the middle for a 7-yard score.
Yeah, he starts out right, then he jukes left, and then there's nobody there for him to walk into the end zone easily. Well, the story of the night, missed tackles.
And a flag down on the extra point. We may have a substitution infraction here. That is the play. They had 12 men on the field, or at least 12 men in the huddle, and so they'll back the extra point up 5 yards. But I have been very impressed by not only the quarterback, Michael Hawkins, who we knew was a dual threat, but the ability of Cameron Lockhart to make guys who have him squared up and look like they're in position to tackle, just to make them completely whiff and grab air, has been a phenomenal job tonight by him.
He's shown explosiveness, elusiveness, and power all in one back.
Extra point is up, and it is good from 25 yards out. And with 11 minutes to go in the ball game, it is now 28-10 Emerson, and the Mustangs are now very much up against it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. This rain's not going to slow down either now. The good thing is for Grapevine, you do have the wind at your back. So if you have a fast offense, if you have a NASCAR-type offense, now might be the time, because there is no tomorrow, to roll that thing out and see what we can do.
Third touchdown of the ball game from Cameron Lockhart, as he and Michael Hawkins, the two of them alone have over 300 yards, and I think now the Mavericks are up to around about 400 yards of offense, all of it on the ground.
And that's impressive. There's been 0 completions from the Mavericks, yet they have over 400 yards on the ground and 400
points,
yards
yeah.
and 28 points. It's been complete domination up front and by these running backs.
Again, a high short pooch kick. This one is going to be caught at the 33 and returned up the sideline, out past the 40 by Brady Wagner. That's how short that kick was. Brady Wagner caught it and returned it out to the 45, so the Mustangs have really good field position.
Well, what the people don't know is Brady Wagner hurdled a grown person standing up. I mean, he hurdled a guy running right at him to make the tackle and literally jumped over 2 feet, lands and runs for a couple of extra yards before he gets out of bounds. That's why he's going to a big-time D1 school. Yeah, when he makes his decision. He's just got another offer this week.
He's got multiple schools interested in him, including all 3 service academies.
Yeah, he just got the offer. One of his offers came in this week.
And they actually changed the spot. They mark it at midfield is where they mark it. About a 13-yard return from Wagner on that very short kick. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at midfield. Just under 11 minutes to go in the ball game. Connor Bell in with Carradine in the backfield on 1st down.
Now is the time, Jacob. The time
Snap
is now.
back. It is. No, it's Dunn. Actually, not Bell. He's into the open field. Dunn's inside the 30. We got a blocker out in front, inside the 20, the 15, inside the 10, and finally dragged out of bounds. DeMontrez Dunn goes over left tackle that time, breaks into the open field, and sets up the Mustangs with 1st and goal. They mark him out at the 8-yard line, a 42-yard run.
And we can't understate what Will Matheny did on that, because, yeah, he was blocking one guy for about 20 yards, but really by blocking that one guy, he blocked 4 or 5 at the same time. I love that Dunn just put his hand on his back and said, I'm going to follow you all the way down the field, and that's what he did.
Connor Bell checks in at tailback here on 1st and goal, as they have one receiver to each side. With 2 tight ends in the game, Wagner and Hatton. Hand off to Bell. Inside the 10 and gets to about the 6 before he gets driven back. So a gain of 2 that time for Connor Bell. Number 35, A.J. Johnson, in on the tackle that time.
And that was, I mean, they're sitting in there. They've got everybody in the box outside of 2 corners and 1 safety. So they are waiting on that power run game from Connor Bell.
DeMontrez Dunn checks back in now here on 2nd and goal. And both he and Rondell Carradine will be in the backfield in the power pistol formation. 2 tight ends, Ian Hatton and Wagner, both in the game at tight end. Snap back. It is a speed option. Pitch to Carradine. Cuts inside the 5 and breaks a tackle and gets into the end zone. What a great run by Rondell Carradine. Looked like he was going to get stopped at about the 2 or 3 yard line as he got hit by cornerback Brandon Maxey, but he just powered his way through that tackle and into the end zone.
Well, usually we say bye-bye Carradine because he's running away from everybody. Not often we see the track star run somebody over, but that time that's exactly what happened. He put his head down, ran over the defender, and walks into the end zone.
A 6-yard touchdown from Rondell Carradine makes it a 2-score game again.
Right back in it.
Extra point is up, and the extra point is good from Hayden Rhodes, and now we have a late flag after the play was over. It's 28-17 Emerson. The key thing about that touchdown drive was it was fast.
It was very, very fast. You had the one big shot play by Dunn, and then you had the 2-yard run by Bell, and then the touchdown run by Carradine. So 3 plays, took very little time off the clock. 10 minutes now. You need a quick 3 and out.
Have you ever seen a holding penalty after a play?
No.
Because that's apparently what just happened. Okay, they're going to bring the kick team back on. There was a late flag after the kick was already good, and the referee threw a flag in after the kick had already gone through the uprights and called a holding penalty. I have never seen that in my life.
Oh, that could have just been that he was delayed in some manner.
Couldn't get it out of his pocket,
Right.
maybe? I don't know. But, man, that was a late flag, but they did call a hold on the kick, so we're going to have to back it up 10 yards, and now this is going to be a 30-yard extra point for Rhodes.
If I'm the referee, the last thing I want to do on a cold, windy, rainy night is extend the game by calling a hold on an extra point. Just seems wasteful.
So now Rhodes will line it up this time from the 20-yard line, so it'll be a 30-yard extra point. Wind is at his back. Snap is down. Kick is up. It's on the way, and it is good. So, despite the penalty, the extra point is good. 10:02 to go in the ball game. It is Emerson 28, Grapevine 17. This is Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith here with you from Mustang Panther Stadium. The Grapevine Mustangs trail the Emerson Mavericks 28-17 in this bi-district playoff game. 10:02 to go in the fourth quarter as the Mustangs just scored on a 50-yard touchdown drive in 3 plays. And the kickoff is high with the wind at the back. It's going to travel well into the end zone and bounce out of the end zone for a touchback. So the Mavericks will take over at their own 25. That was a 3-play 50-yard drive. The 42-yard run from DeMontrez Dunn being the key play on that one.
Yeah, in less than a minute, I think you said in the break. And so when you have something like that, you're back in the game. Now the defense needs to come out, get a quick turnover, a 3 and out, something to get this offense back when they have that momentum.
Rondell Carradine finished off the drive with his 5th touchdown run of the season from 6 yards out. Earlier in the game, Connor Bell scored the first touchdown. That was his 9th touchdown run of the year. And the Mustangs now pull back within 2 scores. But they're going to need to get a stop on defense, as this time they come out trips to the far side, this power look to one side and run it back to the other. Hawkins keeps it, and he runs it to that side. He's got tons of open space. He's up the far sideline into Grapevine territory, and he is going to get knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line of Grapevine, a 43-yard run from Michael Hawkins, as once again, the Mustangs just cannot find a way to get a stop in the ground game.
Well, they've seen that play enough, Jacob, and at this point, even though they're showing action one way, you got to have somebody over on the other side that's going to contain the quarterback, and there's just nobody there.
It's been the same play to either one side or the other, same formation to either one side or the other for the last possession and the first play of this one as well. And they're going to stay in it until Grapevine stops it. Handoff this time to coming around the right side as inside the 30 down to the 28 goes Lockhart. And a lot of the times, most of the time, in fact, they're running it to the weak side of the formation out of this setup that they're coming into. And it looks like we have a player down. It was a 4-yard run by Lockhart to the Grapevine 28.
We've got some stretching going on the field currently, perhaps a cramp or something.
It is a Mavericks player, an Emerson player down on the field right now. And, yeah, you're right. It looks like he's getting stretched out, may have cramped up a little bit.
He's on his back, both legs up in the air in a V formation. Doesn't look very comfortable.
Another 4-yard gain from Cameron Lockhart.
That rain is really coming down.
Yeah, I mean, this is it started about midway through the third quarter. This is about as heavy as we've seen the rain all night.
You know, this is really going to affect the DFW golf weekend with all this rain. It's going to be cart path only.
Well, if it makes you feel better,
I
I think it's supposed to clear out by tomorrow, so the weekend should still be open. And you know what? The courses will be nice and soft for you guys to chip onto.
Nice and
chip
soft.
onto the green.
Soft. That's the word for it.
Looks like the player is all right. I didn't see who it was.
Number 8.
That was not. Oh, well, that was Hawkins.
Yeah,
not Hawkins. That was Lockhart, the tailback.
God, Hawkins is number 4.
Hawkins
Lockhart
is 4.
is number
yeah.
8. That's.
I have been doing it too.
We got to get them.
Izzy Bills checks back in at tailback here for second down. And Bills, nope, it's Hawkins who keeps it. And this time he's going to get wrapped up at the line as the Mustang defense did a good job just filling holes and not giving Hawkins anywhere to go. And he was finally wrapped up as he was trying to find somewhere to go and got wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And the player who made the tackle, Major Hecht, is now who's down on the field for the Mustangs. He's the one who brought down Hawkins after no gain, and now he's getting tended to by the training staff. It's nice to see. It was the Emerson trainer who came onto the field first to check on him, and then the Mustangs training staff came in to take over. So Major Hecht down on the field right now after making the stop. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for Emerson at the Grapevine 28-yard line. The way this wind is howling and the way this rain is blowing. It's Boozer. It's 9, not 6. My fault. So Brady Boozer was the one who made that tackle.
We know the Hechts are listening, so we apologize to give you that scare, but Major's fine.
9 and 6, it's hard to tell.
Boozer's okay.
Yeah.
He's walking off on his own power.
When a player's down on the turf, it's hard to tell between a 9 and a 6. Yeah. Checking in. Trying to see who's coming in to play safety. Actually, it's going to be number 25, Thomas Powers, who's going to check in for Boozer on this very key 3rd down. This could be very well 4-down territory for the Mavericks heading into this wind right now.
I mean, why not at this point?
3rd and 6 at the 28. They stay in that same trips formation to the near side. Hawkins keeps it, and he's going to get wrapped up for a loss.
Major Hecht.
The Mustangs make the play. You're right. Major Hecht fought off his block, got around the legs of Hawkins, and dropped him at the 30-yard line for a loss of 2.
And that's what you expect from one of your seniors, one of your leaders, a guy that's been doing it for 2 years now. What a great play by Major Hecht, and now the Grapevine should get this football back.
Well, it's 4th and 8 at the Grapevine.
They're going to go for it.
31. They're going to mark it. It's actually going to be a loss of 3 at the 31. This is kind of no man's land. They're heading into the wind right now, this strong wind.
The punt
it would be
it
would be a 48-yard field goal. 4th and 9 at the 31. The Mustangs need a stop. Trips formation, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, single receiver to the near side.
2 tight ends and 1 back in the timeout.
And the play clock runs out. And let's see if it is a delay game. No, it is a timeout. Emerson, before the play clock ran out, called a timeout as this play was taking too long to get going. So that's their first timeout of the half. It comes with 8:08 to go in the ball game. The Mustangs down 11 points here in the 4th quarter, needing to get a stop. It's 4th and about, we'll say it's going to be a short 9 as they're just inside the 31-yard line. But this really is, I understand the thought process here by the Emerson coaching staff. It's with these conditions, it's too far for a field goal and too short to punt.
Well, you know what? I'm with you until you're getting to the point where you have to use a timeout. I think at that point I take the delay of game and I go ahead and try to kick it inside that 10-yard line if I can. But maybe they don't feel like their punter can do that. I don't know.
And I don't even think it's that. I think it's confidence in their offense.
Could be. I mean, they've been getting 8-9 yards of carry, so no reason to think that they couldn't do it now. But this is a huge play for Grapevine because you have the opportunity to give your offense the ball back with 8 minutes left with the wind at your back and a chance to bring this thing within 1 score if you can make this stop.
Both teams starting to come back onto the field for this key 4th down. By the way, the starting center, number 65, Caleb Griffin for Emerson, is back in the ball game now, which is good to see. He went off with an injury on the last possession.
They have an awfully big offensive line.
They do. Especially especially the 2 guards and the center. Snap back on 4th down, play action. Hawkins steps up, flag comes in, he lobs it over. The pass is caught by Bills. First down inside the 10, gets hit, stays on his feet, and then gets driven out of bounds. It would be a first down, but I think this is coming back. There's 2 flags down at the 35-yard line that were thrown before Hawkins even got out of the pocket, and I think this play is definitely coming back.
That's a good thing. That's a heck of a play by Hawkins.
Oh, it was. Just lobbed it right over. He had his running back Bills at the last second.
How is it on the defense? That's surprising.
what was the actual penalty call? Hands to the face on the defense.
Oh, demoralizing
for
the Grapevine defense, and that's going to make that play hold up.
Automatic for and it
or did they take the penalty?
They shouldn't take the penalty.
They should take the play.
Because it was a great play by Hawkins. Like we said, Izzy Bills at the last second when he saw his quarterback scramble leaked out, and Hawkins just literally lobbed it over the top of a defender. Bills caught it and got all the way to the 5-yard line.
So this is interesting.
It's half the distance to the goal in addition to the yard.
Yeah, so they are tacking on the penalty to the end of the play. That play by Hawkins was very Patrick Mahomes-ish for those of you at home that can't see it, because there was nowhere for him to go, and he literally took his right hand and just, like you say, just a little flick of the wrist.
Like a little lob pass in basketball.
Yeah, like an alley-oop almost.
First and goal at the 5, handoff right up the middle, and Bills walks in for the touchdown, almost untouched. And the Mavericks may have put this game on ice.
That play reminds me of just complete demoralization, right? You think you've got them stopped. Yeah. You think we're good, we're there, and then
I don't know if
you're
that's
not
a word,
ready
but
for that.
I'll go with you
I can make up words if I want to, Jacob. I can make up words if I want to. If it's not a word, it should be.
Extra point is blocked and covered by the Mavericks. So nice job that time by Ryan Hamilton to get in there and block the extra point. That keeps it 34-17 with 7:44 to go. But yeah, you talk about the demoralization of the defense. It looked like, just a ridiculous play by Michael Hawkins to get that first down and get the ball to his running back Bills. The Mustangs think they have a holding penalty, but it ends up being called hands to the face against the defense that moves it half the distance to the goal to set up first and goal at the 5. Unbelievable.
Well, it's been that sort of night for Grapevine since the beginning. I think the Mavericks really set the tone in the first quarter with that almost 6-minute drive where they had the ball for half the quarter and put it in the end zone and then come out and hold Grapevine to no first downs right off the bat, a 3-and-out, or 1 first down, then a 3-and-out after that. Unfortunately, they've just dominated this entire game.
Unbelievably, the first pass completed tonight by Michael Hawkins, the OU quarterback commit, was a shot put for about 5-yard shot put to his running back over the head of a defender that ends up going for about 22 yards.
And we've seen 2 whole completions here tonight, but it's the weather's not conducive. We'll see. They're still alive, are the Grapevine Mustangs.
Squib kick this time, picked up by Wagner. He's going to get wrapped up after about a yard after he stumbled a little bit trying to pick it up. Instead of going with the pooch kick this time, they decided to squib it again, just trying to keep it out of the hands of Bryson Davis and Rondell Carradine. Wagner gets tackled at the 35-yard line where the Mustangs will take over.
Now, last year, if you remember, Grapevine wasn't in this position a lot, but when they wanted to throw the ball, when they wanted to push the ball downfield, they would take Evan Baum out and they would put in Harrison Hackbarth. And so now this is going to be his opportunity if they want to go that route to at least give it a shot.
Very poor conditions to try that, but I understand what you're saying. First and 10 at the 35. Dunn and Carradine. Pitch to Carradine, and he gets blasted. That was a phenomenal play that time by the defensive back, number 17, Yacheskel Garcia, as he literally just drove Brady Wagner backwards right into Rondell Carradine and dropped him for a loss of 7.
Although I will say, I thought Rondell, had he gone outside of Brady Wagner, maybe it looked like Wagner was trying to block his man to the inside to give Carradine that corner. Carradine tried to cut up inside, and like you said, Brady was thrown back into Carradine, unfortunately.
Well, that's still just a phenomenal play to drive the blocker back.
The big tight end, too. Not a little guy.
He drove the blocker back into the gut of the running back and made the play. Timeout called by Grapevine with 6:55 to go as they were having trouble getting the play in and getting the play called. And down 34-17, that's their second timeout of the second half. They have 1 remaining, and a lot of work to do here. Down by 17 points.
Yeah, we haven't seen them really be able to score quickly in a short time.
Not as often, yeah.
Not as often as you would need them to do right now. So, but it's football. It can happen. I've seen it happen. You've seen it happen.
Going to need some big chunks of yardage here out of their offense and score quickly to have a shot in this ball game.
Do not turn that channel, folks. It's not quite over yet.
After the timeout, both teams come back. This time a 3-wide setup. 2 receivers to the near side, single receiver far side. Carradine in the slot, Dunn in the backfield with Hackbarth. Carradine comes in motion, snap back, play action. Hackbarth drops back, fires one deep up the sideline, and that pass is caught by Burns. Down to the 30, inside the 30, up the seam, a deep shot over the top of the defender with the wind at his back. Harrison Hackbarth lobs one over the top. It's caught by Burns, and he's down at the 30-yard line. A phenomenal gain that time. 42 yards on the catch by Darius Burns.
I mean, Harrison has it in him. We saw it last year. We've seen flashes of it this year. What a throw in these conditions. Put it on a dime. Now they have a chance.
They actually mark him at the 29. Snap back, handoff to Dunn on first down. He inside the 25 to the 24. A gain of 5 on first down for DeMontrez Dunn. Ends up being 43 yards on the pass to Darius Burns. Great throw that time by Harrison Hackbarth, taking advantage of the wind at his back to put some air under it and get it over the top of the defender.
I'm a huge Harrison Hackbarth fan. I get to talk to him just about every week. He's such a friendly kid. He's a leader. Comes over, talks to me every time I'm at practice. I love seeing him have success.
2nd and 5 at the 24. 5:51 to go here in the ball game. Snap back. Again, handoff to Dunn, gets hit, gets the first down inside the 20, moving forward, down to the 18. Clock stops to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 Mustangs. Connor Bell checking in now as Carradine's going to check out on this first down play. But the Mustangs needing to run some tempo as the clock sets and restarts.
Yeah, I'd like to see him move a little quicker than this. I don't necessarily want to see him in a huddle right now.
It's tough because this isn't a tempo-style offense, and so when you have to run it, it makes it hard. Dunn and Bell in the backfield. Hand off to Dunn. Nothing doing that time. He's going to get maybe a yard before he gets brought down.
We're just wasting too much time here, Jacob, to me. I mean, we're getting down now under 5 minutes, and we're moving very, very slowly.
2nd and 9 at the 16.
Well, that was strange. The whole huddle moved up about 2 yards.
Yeah, that was very weird.
Okay.
2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Carradine in motion. Fake to him.
He's got him.
Throw. He has a man open. It's caught. Touchdown. Play action. Caught. Ian Hatton leaked out. Faked that. Acted like he was going to block. Leaked upfield, and Hackbarth found him for a 16-yard touchdown.
You motion Carradine. You get the defense flowing that way. You play action. You get the linebacker to stumble. Brady Wagner comes out of the break. Wide open. Great throw once again by Harrison Hackbarth. Kind of wish we would have saw this a little earlier in the game.
And again, another relatively quick touchdown here for the Mustangs as they score in just under 3 minutes. Extra point team is on. And now somebody moved, so we're going to back it up 5 yards. Rhodes has already kicked a 30-yard extra point tonight, so he's going to have a 25-yarder to try here. This one would pull the Mustangs within 10 with 4:45 to go.
It is no problem for Legatron, especially with the wind at his back. Rhodes is another guy I talk to quite often, about once a week or so. And we last week we talked about his kickoff woes a little bit. I think if I get to talk to him again, it would be about he's been kicking great tonight in these conditions.
By the way, DeMontrez Dunn, I'm almost positive, is over 100 yards on the ground tonight on this drive.
Done.
Extra point is up, almost blocked, but it is good. And with 4:45 to go, it's now 34-24, Emerson. This is Mustang Friday Night, presented by Tradio.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We are back at Mustang Panther Stadium as the Mustangs pull back within 10 now, 34-24. After the 16-yard touchdown pass from Harrison Hackbarth to Ian Hatton. That's Hatton's second touchdown of the season. And they do go onside, suicide onside, but right there to cover it are the Emerson Mavericks as number 3, Mateus Machado, stayed home as the Mustangs spread out like they were going to kick it deep, and then went with what I like to call the suicide onside. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the kicking team was offsides.
Kicking team was offsides. I love the call. I think that's the perfect time to do that. I mean, you're only down 2 possessions, so now.
And to be fair, the Mavericks were looking for an onside kick there.
Yeah, well, of course.
So that penalty will move it to the Grapevine 47 after the kick was covered at the Emerson 48. And that's where the Mavericks will take over. 4:44 to go here in the ball game. Mustangs only with 1 timeout to use. And so here come the Mavericks and their ground attack. As this time they're going to come out in a traditional 3-wide set. 2 receivers to the far side. Snap back, hand off to Bills, going to the far side, and he stiff arms a man and oh wow, what a run by Bills. Just could not get a hand on him, stiff-armed 1 defender to the ground, and then ran through 2 arm tackles for a 5-yard gain or a 4-yard gain.
Stiff arms, arm tackles, and then somersaults for 2 yards. Let's not forget the somersault at the end of the play.
Just dove forward as he started to fall down and gets 2 more yards out of it.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Unbelievable individual effort because it looked like they had him in the backfield for a loss. I think it may have been Tatum Evans that got stiff-armed to the ground, and Tatum Evans came up limping after that play. He's still on the field. 2nd and 6 now at the 43. Going to be a play at handoff. This time the Mustangs wrap up Bills at the line of scrimmage as he tried to go over left tackle and just had nowhere to go. Devin Thomas and Vili Motamano there for the stop.
In no hurry now is the Mavericks. Of course, they've been running pretty slow all night as far as their tempo goes. And certainly content to take this all the way down and snap it under 10 every time.
No need for them to do anything other than just run clock. 3rd and 6 at the Mustang 43. They stay 2 receivers near side, single receiver far side in a 3-wide set. Here comes the blitz. And Hawkins keeps it, makes a man miss, and tries to get to the corner, makes Darius Burns miss, and gets out of bounds with the first down. Made 1 man miss in the backfield, then made Darius Burns miss with another juke on the far side, and gets down to the 35 for a first down.
Boozer just comes off a blitz from the edge there. Doesn't get touched, but doesn't break down either. And we've seen quite a bit of that throughout the evenings from everybody.
That's been the story of the ball game, has been number 1, penalties, and number 2, poor tackling against, credit to Emerson, very athletic ball carriers, but the Mustangs have not been able to wrap up anybody all night long. That time he made Boozer and Darion Burns miss and got the first down. This time it's going to be a loss as Bradley Stanier got into the backfield, and this time got around the waist of Izzy Bills and dropped him for a 6-yard loss at the 41.
Now that's more of what we're accustomed to when we talk about this Grapevine defense, but unfortunately here tonight the Maverick running backs have just been...
And Hawkins, the quarterback.
Yeah, of course. They've just been running the ball well. They've been extremely elusive, and they've been running hard too. They're not being taken down by the first guy a lot of times. So some of it's Grapevine, but a lot of the credit has to go to this Mavericks team.
Yeah, and we talked about it coming in. This is a very explosive Emerson Mavericks offense, and they're showing why tonight that they can do it either on the ground or through the air. 2nd and 16 to 41. Handoff over to up the middle this time, actually, and not much there. Timeout called by Coach Bob DeBest as Leighton Towery and Devin Thomas teamed up to make the stop on Izzy Bills for only a gain of a yard to the 40, setting up a 3rd and 15. 2:17 to go here in the ball game. Mustangs running out of time. That's their final timeout. And, I mean, bottom line is they have to get a stop right here, right now.
They have to get a stop. And this is what I love about this team. There's a timeout. The defense is huddled. Harrison is on the sideline. Harrison Hackbarth brings the entire offense together, and gives them a little speech, lets them know, hey, this game is not over. We're going to get back on this field, and we need to be ready to do something. The offense is talking right now as a group. I absolutely love that leadership and that attention to detail with 2:17 left in the game.
Mustang defense, 3rd and 15. Can't imagine that the Mavericks in these conditions, with the way things have gone tonight, are going to put this in the air. I think they're just going to run it and see what they can get and see if they can set up a makeable 4th down to try and ice the ball game.
Yeah, this is the type of play where you think, you're going to keep the ball in Hawkins' hands and let him make the right decision. Because even if you don't get this 1st down, Grapevine would have, they don't have any timeouts left. So now you'll be able to run this clock down considerably regardless. And probably go for it on 4th down.
So 3rd and 15 for the Mavericks at the Grapevine 40. 3 wide, 2 to the far side, single receiver near side, and the ball's on the ground, and Grapevine covers it up. Or do they? The ball's on the ground, and I think the Mavericks got back on top of it.
Devin Thomas had it.
It was a poor,
like it slipped out.
Yep, this is a wet ball. It was a poor exchange, and the ball popped out on the handoff. It looked like one of the Mustangs, maybe Devin Thomas, fell on it, but it squirted loose again, and I think falling on it that time was the center, number 65, Caleb Griffin, who saved a turnover. It's still a loss back to the 46-yard line. The play clock is going now, and that's the unfortunate thing. If the turnover not only would have been in great field position, but the clock would have stopped.
The clock would have stopped, and now with 1:40 left here in the game, they can run this thing down to, there's only 18 seconds left on the play clock. So they're going to run this thing down to about 1:15.
Well, now the referee stopped the clock. Well, the referee stopped the clock, and I'm not certain as to why.
All the clocks
there was no timeout called by Emerson that I saw. Emerson has their offense on the field for some reason. I don't know why they're not just punting this ball. Even into the wind, I don't know why you don't just punt this. Maybe quick kick, maybe, possibly. Could see that.
Could be. I think the referees are talking about the time right now because I think they –
Okay, so they're putting a lot of time back on the clock. They reset it to 2:12, and then they're going to start the clock from there. They had to stop the clock to unpile and see who covered the fumble.
And they never did that.
And they never stopped it. So they're going to reset it to 2:12. The play clock will be set to 25, and now they will wind the clock.
And this thing is going to run down all the way to 1 or 2 before they snap it, I would assume.
Well, I don't even know. If I'm Emerson, I'm just going to run it down to 1 and call a timeout, and then, either. I don't know why the offense is on the field and they don't just punt here, but they are leaving the offense on the field. Snap is back, and they just hand it off to Bills. Makes a man miss, makes another man miss, but he is going to get wrapped up just short of the 1st down. That is unbelievable. Somehow the Mustangs still couldn't bring him down, and Bills comes up 2 yards short of a 1st down. He had a 19-yard run to the 27 and came up 2 yards short.
Yeah, he carried Brady Boozer for about 4 yards on his back. They had him stop up at the 30, and he was still able to get very close to that first down.
That is unreal confidence in your offense by this. I guess they just didn't care. He nearly got the 1st down and put the game away. But what I didn't understand from the Emerson coaching staff is why not just, even into the wind, just punt the ball.
I think I know why, and I think what it could be is we haven't seen them really punt.
They've only
tonight,
punted once. Yeah, and it was into the wind.
In this kind of weather, you could be thinking about snap, all sorts of things, the ball being over there. So I'm okay with them running the play there.
So the Mustangs take over at their 27, 1st and 10. Hackbarth gets rid of it after he gets pressured. That could be a grounding call. And looks like it is.
Back to the line of
there was no receiver over there either. Harrison Hackbarth gets pressured, and he's going to get grounded. We have 2 flags down now. There's actually one at the line of scrimmage. They're going to call Harrison Hackbarth for grounding for sure. I don't know what the other flag is for.
Coach DeBest beside himself on the sideline, just not happy with that decision. And frankly, either am I.
Yeah. Harrison Hackbarth, not wanting to take a sack, just threw it towards the Emerson sideline, but he was still in the pocket. Actually, I think they may have ruled he was out of the pocket, but there was no receiver on the far side, and the ball didn't get back to the line.
Now that's confusing because the ball did get back to the line of scrimmage. However, you're right, there was no receiver. I'm not a high school ref. I don't know what the rule is.
The loss is all the way back to the 15-yard line. Loss of down. So it's 2nd and 22 now, back at the 2nd and 23 at the 14. Snap back, Hackbarth dropping back, fires one, caught by Carradine, and he's going to take it out of bounds at about the 20, only a gain of about 6 yards, setting up 3rd and long.
Just 1:25 left, not a whole lot of time to get 2 scores when you're back at your own 20, and traditionally not a big passing team and rainy, wet, windy conditions. It's certainly not ideal.
3rd and 17 now for the Mustangs at their own 20. 1:25 to go. Harrison dropping back, fires one deep, and that pass is going to be tipped and intercepted. Up the sideline and sliding down instead of getting knocked out of bounds is number 9, Christian Lyons, who make the interception off of the pass. It was deflected by another Emerson defender out in front, and Lyons picked it off on the deflection, and that will do it.
Harrison being comforted on the side by Hunter Cuddle.
Yeah, he's just trying to make something happen at this
poor
point.
guy. I hate that for him. His last pass as a senior is going to be an interception. And he had the man, really tough window throw. I mean, listen, he gave his heart and soul out here tonight. He did everything he could for his team. This is really not as much about Grapevine as it is a testament to the Mavericks and what they brought to the table tonight.
Absolutely. They have played phenomenal football tonight, especially on the offensive side of the ball. In the second half here, the Mustangs have been able to do some things offensively and put points on the board. But this offense for Emerson has been virtually unstoppable tonight for Grapevine, as they've had lots of running room all night long, and even when Mustang defenders were in position to make a stop, make a tackle, they just haven't been able to bring the ball carrier down. And it has been a phenomenal performance tonight by the Emerson Mavericks, who will advance to the area round of the playoffs here in 5A Division II.
Yeah, it's been a great season for this Grapevine team, who admittedly was in transition, right? They didn't get their coaching staff solidified until the spring. They missed out on spring football, unlike every other school in the area. So what they did this year can't be understated. They second in their district. They made it to the playoffs. They put up a good fight. Unfortunately, the Mavericks just too much tonight.
The Mustangs will finish their season with a 6-4 record. The Emerson Mavericks will improve to 9-2, and they will advance to the area round next week. But the Mustangs this year in the bi-district round here on their home field will see their season come to an end tonight by a final score of 34-24. It was just a phenomenal performance by this very talented offense of the Emerson Mavericks with their OU commit, Michael Hawkins, the quarterback, tonight doing it with his legs, not with his arm, in these very poor conditions for throwing the ball, as it's been raining and windy all night long. And tonight Hawkins did it. He and his backfield teammates, Cameron Lockhart and Izzy Bills, tonight combined for 5 touchdowns on the ground and about 450 yards of rushing between the three of them.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm excited to watch Hawkins play in a couple years up north in Stillwater.
Yeah. He's going to be in Norman,
and he's a great athlete. He's the best player we have seen this year, particularly here at the Grapevine Mustang Stadium. From a visiting team perspective, he's the best guy we've seen. This is the best team that Grapevine has seen this season, at least since Argyle, probably.
Well, I mean, definitely since Heritage, and this offense.
I didn't see the Heritage game.
I would argue that this offense for the Mavericks is more talented and explosive than even the Heritage Panther offense. I think Heritage may be better defensively, but this team I think is better offensively for sure. And they are poised now. I would not be surprised to see them make a deep run in these playoffs.
Well, you'd hope so if you're Grapevine. If you're going to lose, at least lose to a team that's, that's going to make a run and that has that ability, and I think Emerson certainly does. And, I mean, like I said, this is no downplay to the Mustangs. They had a fantastic season, lots to be proud of tonight. But the Mavericks just came in and played a better ball game.
Absolutely. Give credit tonight. Harrison Hackbarth in the second half, helping lead this offense with his legs and making a few plays in the air tonight to try and keep the Mustangs in it. DeMontrez Dunn in his final game tonight had over 100 yards on the ground. And, the Mustang offense, especially in the second half, did as much as they could, but the Emerson Maverick offense was just too much tonight.
Yeah, they fought back for sure.
That's going to wrap it up for us here tonight here at Mustang Panther Stadium as the Grapevine Mustangs see their season come to an end in the bi-district round of the playoffs as they fall to the Emerson Mavericks by a final score of 34-24. Thank you to Carly Isbell tonight, helping out with the production here in the booth. Thank you to our executive producer, Trey Bell, who's been doing fantastic work all season long on these broadcasts. Thank you also to my broadcast partner, Tim Smith. These last 3 seasons have been a lot of fun covering Grapevine football, and we look forward to a lot more. And thank you also to Thomas Lee of Champion Sports Radio, who sets up all these broadcasts along the Champion Sports Radio network. For my broadcast partner, Tim Smith, I am Jacob Dedamore. Your final score once again tonight here at Mustang Panther Stadium. The Mustangs fall tonight in the bi-district round of the playoffs to the Emerson Mavericks by a score of 34-24. Everyone here, have a safe drive home in these conditions. Have a great rest of your week, and go Mustangs. This has been Mustang Friday night here on Tradio.